Ty Gibbs, who got his third pole of the season here yesterday. He's been on fire, 3 wins this year. And he takes the inside lane to his outside Justin Allgaier. A bit delayed, but finally, we're off and rolling in Martinsville, Virginia.
Oh, big smoke in the back. That's got to be motor failure there.
Caution lap 1.
I believe that may be a oil pan issue. Failure to contain the parts.
They want you to stop. They want you to stop.
Yeah,
here.
I'm going to say there's got to be a lot of fluid going down. He went a long ways, did Brennan Poole.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You know, a lot of buildup right there. Have to sit through all that water and then boom, not the start you want to have.
So we had the rain. Lap 1, we get a caution for Brennan Poole. Problems under the hood. We'll step aside. Eventually, we'll find our rhythm on FS1. Years of racing right here at Martinsville Speedway. It all got started for the Xfinity Series. Sam Ard won in 1982. Raced here every year until 94. Took this long break. Harvick brought us back with a win in 06. And then another break. Came back here in 2020. Harrison Burton upending his dad for youngest winner all time at this track in the Xfinity Series. Twice here in 2021. Back this year for a pair of events. This marks the 38th time the Xfinity Series has been here. 23 drivers combined to win those 37 races. Look who's in line. I know he's not like a star at home, but Devin with a headset on.
You better tell him he can get a bag of 12.
He told me earlier today his goal was 8. He told me he wanted 8 this weekend. Maybe that was just today, actually.
8
I like his
day.
chances. How many of you guys had?
I'm only 1 right now.
I'm 2 in up here, just in the booth.
I really wanted 1 when I came up here and tasted good, but I'm good now. That's all I needed was one. Hey, let's dial up Sheldon Creedon, too. He had a good fire off here. Hey, Sheldon Creed, this is Austin Dillon in the booth. Way to fire off there. Looks like you had heat in your stuff and looked good off of turn 2. But we're under caution here. What do you feel like your car's got tonight?
Well, going off of practice stuff yesterday, I feel pretty solid. Bought a couple little things, but overall, the guys did a really good job on our Wheeler Chevy Camaro. And yeah, so we have for the 54 here early. Hopefully I can tell the guys what the car is doing, make good adjustments, and be there at the end.
Yes, sir. You know, obviously you're going to do all you can to get around this 54. Where do you feel like your car is going to make its gains throughout the night, or where do you want to be able to beat this 54?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I can get in the corner and roll really fast to be there on exit with them, it's going to be important. So going to focus on that, try to get next to him on exit. Obviously, it's a lot harder to do than said. So yeah, we'll see what we have here early and just try to run a smooth race, be there at the end.
Well, thanks for chatting with us. I know your spotter, Brandon Banesh. He's my spotter on Sunday, so you guys have a good night. We'll be cheering you on all night.
10-4. Thank you, guys.
You know who this worked out for is Justin Allgaier. Qualifies on the front row. Got to start in the outside lane. Early caution, he's third. Immediately, he gets the bottom lane on this restart. That's great for old number 7. Just about ready to go green once again. It's NASCAR Xfinity Series racing from Martinsville, presented by Credible. And you know, a driver that we have to give some love to is Parker Retzlaff. This kid has been so impressive. Last weekend, made his second career start, passed more cars than anybody. He's been racing for a long, long time. Grew up in Wisconsin, and he's really done it all. A couple of ARCA starts, big iRacer, and gets this chance to go racing in the Xfinity Series. Only 18 years old. And you see what he did last week. Finished 10th, passed 26 cars. They had some problems on pit road. I saw Rod Sieg, the owner. He said, we've got him a better pit crew tonight. And that 26 positions really doesn't even tell the story, because they had a speeding penalty which put him even further back. So he's been very, very impressive in a couple of starts driving that 38 for RSS Racing.
Yeah, he's been impressive to watch the last couple weeks, seeing him on these short tracks. And I believe he's in the Coca-Cola iRacing series, so that's pretty cool that he's a part of that and gets to run in the Xfinity series and really kind of connect the dots between the two of them.
Here we go, choose.
Oh, man,
see,
Adam,
I was putting
you
all
jumped the
guy
gun.
inside. I did. I jumped the gun. I thought this was going to be big for Justin. Sheldon takes the inside, and now Justin goes high.
We got a pretty amazing rule, this choose. I think it's really done a lot for NASCAR and made it interesting to see where people are going to choose to go.
Would you have done that? Would you have gone high again to start on the front row?
Well, yeah. If I'm Justin, I think honestly, if I was Sheldon, I probably would have gave it a shot up there just so early on. The track's pretty green, but he looked pretty good there on the start. Just see what you can do. The 54 is obviously fast, so see if you can hang with him.
I just think about, but before the choose rule, right? We always you count cars off a pit road, and you try to manage that to make sure you were in that inside lane. Choose rule changes everything. So it's just like the start of the race. Front row, Ty Gibbs, Justin Allgaier, 54 inside.
It's a great start for Justin there. He's going to have some good control on the exit. It'll be interesting to see what he can do here with Ty.
Yeah, I think the main thing there for Justin, he had 10 caution laps to get a little more heat in his stuff. It didn't look like he had the tires, where he needed them to fire off that first time. This time it's working out a little bit better for him.
So big to try to get the top spot, because if you don't get that, then they start getting that train going below you. It's so hard to pull down and fall into line.
It is tough, and it kind of works your tires, man. I mean, you're sitting there on the outside saying, man, I might can fight and get this position, but you're constantly just wearing at those tires.
And, he files in third there. That's where he was before.
Status quo.
So, I think hopefully he learned a little bit of something being up there on the outside, maybe get a feel for where the track is right now and just put it in the memory bank for later.
As rubber lays down too, later in the race, you might see guys be able to make a little bit more of a fight on the outside on restarts.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think one other interesting thing is going to be to watch, with as cold as it is, how much rubber's going to get later.
Yeah, you're not going to see a lot.
Tonight and tomorrow night will be interesting to watch.
For position, here's your teammate.
Yeah, that Bennett Trucking Chevrolet is looking good. He's rotating. Austin Hill, he's another one that grew up short track racing and knows how to get around places like this. And interesting to see how much progress he makes this first stage. He started 14th and felt like he had a little bit of problems with the rear brakes, but looks like he's got it settled in pretty good right now.
Noah Gregson had to drop to the rear, changed a tire after qualifying yesterday. Not allowed to do that without losing your starting position. And there were so many guys that dropped to the rear. He wasn't truly all the way in the back, so he's had an advantage start of the race from 35th up to 28th officially, now 27th. Josh Berry in the 10th position, hasn't moved much early, Coleman.
Yeah, hey Adam, well, yesterday in the practice show we listened to Josh Berry explain, saying he thinks his car is where it needs to be for the long run. Firing off here right off the bat, we're about 6 laps into this run. I notice his car's pretty free. You would expect as rubber gets laid down, his car is going to start getting an advantage. I look forward to seeing what he's doing here in the next 10 laps. A free car early in a run typically means a good turning car and a good drive car on the end of a run.
Yeah, you can see him. He coming off the corner, back steered almost every lap right here, and we'll see how it plays out for him as like Coleman said, as the rubber laid down and we get more laps. I mean, you can just see he's driving it really free.
That's, it's so cool when we come to Martinsville, to me, to watch all the different styles and all the different setups, right? There's so many different ways to get around this track. There's so many different ways your car can handle. You see Josh's car kind of really hiking up there on the exit, and it's interesting to watch everybody's different mentality.
Hey, Brett Moffitt qualified top 10. He's taken his car behind the wall. Transmission issues. So tough for that race team that's trying to find some traction. We talked about Our Motorsports, and man, he's done some good things this year. To be out early, especially at a place where he thrives, is disappointing as Allgaier makes a move. A little bump and run on Sheldon Creed.
Yeah, Justin Allgaier, like we talked about before the race started, he's so good on the brakes, and he gets in there, gets the car rotated, and we're going to be able to complete this pass here and see if Sheldon can tuck in and get in there and just learn from him.
And we have the Shop USA pickleball car following through.
When that door gets open, Drivers get really anxious, and Ryan Truex taking advantage. Landon Castle right there as well.
And just like you talked about earlier, Adam, you know, Sheldon kind of gave the bottom to Justin there, and he's going to end up losing 3 spots out of it. So it's such a fine line. You know, it's early in the race, but this track position, as short as this day is going to matter.
That's something I like to see, those cherry red brake rotors right now. Everybody's starting to use those brakes up, and a little beating and banging right there between little affiliates and Colleague and RCR. At least the cars are going toward the front.
All 3 Colleague cars inside the top 10. A.J. Allmendinger is 8th.
Good speed. That's better right there. That little delay, I think, will help you. Yeah, I like that better. You can even do it maybe a little bit longer. You can do a coast just a little bit longer to help that be straighter off the corner. I need help in the 2-thirds park to do that.
What do you think there, Coleman?
Hey, listening to that audio from A.J. Allmendinger's spotter, Frank Denny Jr. A lot of short track racers around Virginia know Frank Denny Jr. He's actually a 2002 winner here, the big late model stock race, the 200 lapper that Josh Berry won a few years ago. So not only is that advice that he sees up here from the spotter stand, he also has a lot of laps here as a short track racer and a former winner that knowledge is coming from.
And he wants a bonus tonight. AJ, one of those drivers up for the $100,000 in the Dash for Cash. You don't have to win the race, just got to finish in front of the other guys. And AJ right now not in a bad spot, scored 8th, but Ty Gibbs has been incredible leading this thing. And his teammate Ryan Truex looks good early, Jamie.
Really good so far. They're telling him really good on exit. Keep doing what you're doing. But he's impressed me so much, Adam. This is the second time we've seen him in a Joe Gibbs racing car this season. He said he's going to make the most of it. He said the amount of information they give you, all of the tools to set you up for success. I want to make the most of it. Qualified 4th, holding a pretty wheel here, running 3rd right now, Vince.
Well, I'm taking a look at Landon Castle running 4th. I talked to he and A.J. Allmendinger before the race, and Allmendinger wasn't happy with his car at all, and Landon said, I don't know, I like running these cars. I'm still learning them. It's quite a step up for Landon Castle and the quality of equipment he's got from Colleague Racing. He said he's still learning about how to maximize the car, and I tell you what, he's doing a pretty good job of that right now, taking it up inside the top 5.
Qualifying always helps, and him starting up front has been a huge benefit, as you can see there running in the 4th position.
Wow, you can stick the brakes on the 11. I mean, that's a lot of brake glove for this point in the run.
Ryan Sieg getting aggressive back there in the 7th spot, pushing the reigning champ Daniel Hemrick. We're 32 laps in at Martinsville. Have a hot dog or 2 or 3 or 4.
Martinsville Speedway. I'll be bringing you updates all evening long. A.J. Allmendinger, we just saw he's currently the highest running Dash for Cash driver in the field. And I think it's important to note he is also currently the points leader. We took a look at the points pre-race, but you should note that there are early favorites here in this series. As I mentioned, Allmendinger on top. In second, Gibbs and Brexton both 20 points behind A.J., but that's where the drop-off goes. Josh Berry in fourth, 76 points behind A.J., and Justin Allgaier 87 points behind. Both Allgaier and Berry looking to have strong runs here tonight, as the Junior Motorsports Camp typically does, but interesting trend early on here in the season.
Depends on where you're at.
Caution is out for the second time tonight. Howie DiSavino III, making his series debut, driving the 44 for Alpha Prime, has stopped on track. A Virginia guy who has brought his fans to the track. How about that?
It's the way to do it.
Hey, we're only 9 days away from the Easter Special at Bristol. We're on the dirt for a second consecutive season. Our coverage begins on FS1 with race day, and then we're over to Fox, under the lights, prime time, Easter on the dirt at the last great Coliseum. This is going to be awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. I had fun last year. I don't know about you, Austin, but I think they've made some changes in the track. I think night race is going to help out. New car. Should be good.
Yeah, I love dirt racing, so you know when we go on dirt racing, I'm pumped up.
Dale Jr. qualified 30th, had to start at the rear, now 28th.
Really, really tight the second half of the corner, or just won't get back down the racetrack and up off the bottom, even through throttle. A lot of left rear, it feels like, just the left rear just driving the car straight.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I mean, I think the good thing is he could come down pit road right here, maybe flip the stage if he wanted to and make some big adjustments. You know, coming back to, you know, he gets one race a year. Your crew chief's probably trying to keep that car tight so you feel comfortable in it. And, you know, they can make adjustments, take some wedge out of it and see what they can do to get him rotating at the 3/4 mark.
Okay, we just got word that NASCAR has invited Ty Gibbs, our race leader, to the NASCAR hauler when the race is over for not rolling out of the throttle when the caution comes out. So there you go.
That's tough. I mean, it's kind of your spotter communication letting you know, or if he didn't see the caution, or, you know, usually they do not like it when you go by safety vehicles fast. So I don't know what the cause is, but that's usually when you get called.
It's not fun to go. I've been one time, fortunately, and it wasn't that pleasant, to be honest.
I'll say this, slowing him down is a major problem right now for everyone.
That's a good thing.
We may have some takers on the strategy.
Let's flip the stage is what a handful of drivers are saying. Here they are, Vince.
Well, and Austin Hill is going to hit his pit box looking for a little adjustment. They're going to make an air pressure change and give him some tires and gas as well. So a little bit of a strategy. You see the wrench in the rear. They're going for a chassis adjustment to help him with his handling, Jamie.
Noah Gregson in the 9 from the back all the way up to 12th. He is on rails. Said, we don't need any adjustments. I'm good in the center and entry, so let's just make it a 4-tire stop here and fill it up. And since they were running in 12th, they figured they'll split the stage here.
Yeah, the thought is you pit here, stay out at the end of the stage, and gain some track position when everyone else comes down. Noah Gregson wins the race off pit road and could very well be the leader when we begin our second stage. Here's what they're saying on the leader's radio.
Hey, make sure that next caution flag tie, roll out of the gas sooner, so you know we're getting yelled at. I will.
That was Chris Gale, the crew chief. I like this partnership, though. Young driver, veteran crew chief who's had a lot of success with a lot of different people. Chris is really good. You've worked with him a lot, Eric.
Yeah, I worked with Chris all my Cup years up until last year, and obviously Chris has that Cup experience, and he was a great Xfinity crew chief before that. And I think that Cup racing, all those 3-4 years, just made him an even better crew chief than what he was.
How about that 88, Vince?
Yeah, they wanted to make some adjustments on that, Adam. Really tight through the second half of the corner, and he couldn't get up off the corner, Dale Jr. speaking of, and just didn't have the turn that they wanted. So they came in, made some adjustments to get that handling a little bit better as he makes his way through the field.
And, you know, I think that's tough, too, not just for Dale to hop in, but for the crew chief, right? You know, there's no communication between those two. I don't know how well they know each other, but he's trying to take Dale's feedback and figure out pretty quickly what he's really looking for.
Right. You know, you can talk all you want, but you can start to learn stuff when you're looking at data, and the GPS is what they go off of here, so you can't really see your wheel angles like we can in our cars with the SMT data in the Cup side. You know, last week I was trying to watch our guys at Richmond and see, you know, how much wheel they had, what was wrong with the car, and it's just hard for a crew chief. I mean, it's pretty old school and just goes off of communication, so time is the only thing that really helps you there.
Gregson, the first off pit road on the fresh tires, is going to restart 23rd. They played this same strategy when he won here in the fall. This is how they got their track position to control the race.
Luke Lambert was looking back on history, wasn't he?
Indeed.
And that car was running through the field pretty fast before that caution.
The restart is a repeat. 54 and 7 on the front row. And Justin gets down quick. That was a big move.
Yeah, he got down quick. It's, he's happy with that move for sure, and it shows that you can make that outside work if you get down early.
You know, I think it's really about 2 laps, right? If you don't get down in the first 2.5 laps, it's going to be a lot of work to get yourself in a hole into the bottom.
How aggressive are you here if you're those guys on fresh tires? Do you push it in this situation, or you try to save a little bit knowing you're going to start that second stage on scuffs and you're not going to pit?
Yeah, well, if you're the 10, you're thinking about, I raced the 2 car earlier and I was faster, so you're trying to hold on to that track position and get him. They kind of beat and bang there for a couple laps, so now, yep, he made the move to get back by the 2 by kind of crossing him up, but that's why he's fighting so hard right now. He knows he has a pretty good car.
Oh, yeah, I'd say they're fighting hard.
He's asking
2
for a little
wide.
That's short track racing.
Yep, 12 to go in the stage, and you're just trying to get those points. I know, you know, that's a lot of cars right there racing, and you get in that train like you talked about earlier, Adam. It can get frustrating fast.
It's not just a train; it's a colleague train. It's a Castle, a Hemrick, and an Allmendinger.
Not only too, you get stuck up there, you start getting roughed up a little bit. One guy gets into you, another guy gets into you. Your temper's raising up, and you're getting hotter and hotter inside that car, and the helmet's feeling tighter and tighter, and it's not a very fun feeling.
Isn't it funny when one guy bumps you and then somebody else sees it? They're like, oh, we can do the same?
For sure. It feels like it's a party after that.
Sheldon Creed falling back now, Jamie.
Yes, he is back to 9th now. Said before this race that the transition of full-time Xfinity has been harder than he thought. Just knowing what to ask for, what he needs out of this race car. And that's kind of what's going on right now. He needs some adjustments. Said he just cannot roll the middle as good as he wants to, and that's where he's lost all the positions.
He's a rookie. He said yesterday during practice, I just need some good luck. They have had some things go against them this year. And just in front of him, Sam Mayer. I mean, here's another young guy that is having as good a success right now as he has had in his career. Back-to-back top 5s, won the $100,000 last weekend. He's really got it going on.
Those fresh tires are paying off for that 21. He's starting to make moves, but I'm sure he's taking care of them as he goes up through there, knowing that he's not going to have that goodie that these other guys that come and get kit tires after the stage ends.
On board with Jeb Burton.
He's going to the bottom of the 36 now.
He's 16th.
You see that big line and you're thinking, I'm faster than every one of them. You just don't know quite how to get
Your eyes get really big.
Yeah, it's a lot of spots for me.
7 to go on the stage, and the best of those drivers that came down and got tires under that last caution is Noah Gragson. And he's racing very, very aggressive here, trying maybe to get back to the top 10 and still a point. I don't know if he can get there, and he's wearing on those tires. Does this surprise you at all how aggressive he is in this situation?
Well, I mean, there's no better defense here than offense. That's the only hard part, like trying to save your tires. Yeah, he's probably in the back of mind, he's got it there, but he's also trying to keep any kind of track position. There's a couple of guys on that strategy, but I think he's got him licked. He can settle in here for these last 5, and he's probably in a better position than what he was.
Noah +6, the best of the bunch since we returned to the green flag.
And you know, for a guy like Dale, obviously he's a little bit farther back in the field tonight. But I think something for him that's really fun, coming in one race a year. The nice thing about NASCAR is no matter where you are in the field, you're racing somebody. There's always a race going on. So Dale's getting to race and do what he loves no matter what.
But he's going to gain a ton of track position once we begin that second stage. Down to 3 to go, stage 1. And so far it's been the Ty Gibbs show.
Nice and easy, straight exit here, door.
Yeah, Ty's been very strong from the drop of the green flag, and you know, some of these guys are going to have to make some adjustments to try and get to where he's at. And he's got a little bit of speed on the next 2 cars, so we'll see, you know, who makes their car better as this race goes on.
You know, definitely seen that rubber go down too. You know,
yeah,
saying earlier,
up a little bit.
As cold as it was, we weren't too sure, but it looks like the track's starting to really kind of lay a groove down there, and that's gonna affect things here.
Final lap, opening stage. Ty Gibbs, 3 wins this year, but only 1 stage victory. Make it 2 from the pole, leading 59 laps.
He's just putting money in the bank, isn't he?
It's the 54 who gets the green and white checker flag. Allgaier second, Truex, Castle, Hemrick the top 5. Allmendinger, Jones, Berry, Mayer, and Creed scoring points. Stage 1 complete for the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Martinsville. Coverage on FS1 presented by Credible. Ty Gibbs wins the stage and pit road is open. Vince?
Colic teammates Landon Castle in that 10 pitting from the 4th position. They're going to take some tape off the front of the grill at the end of this stop, trying to give him a little bit more front grip. And the 11 of Daniel Hemrick, Castle's teammate, pulling in, just not driving off the corner as well as he'd like. Still running top 5, but they need to improve it some, Jamie.
You see Truex in the 18 there, just not pointing like he wants it to. Seems like all these guys are talking about the center being their biggest issue. The 7 of Justin Allgaier, same thing. A little bit tight, but he said he's been learning some things following the 54. Speaking of Ty Gibbs in the 54, little tight center. Now that the rubber is laid down, he wants some right rear stability as well.
And now we're going to be able to answer that question. Tires or track position. Ty Gibbs wins the race off pit road. Allgaier was second. The race leader when we begin our second stage will be the 9 of Noah Gragson. He stays out. For the second straight week, the NASCAR Xfinity Series racing on a short track. And once again, $100,000 on the line for these 4 drivers. Mayer, Gibbs, Herbst, and the old guy, A.J. Allmendinger. Mayer got the check last week. And when you look at where they are running, they all just came off pit road. Best of the bunch, Ty Gibbs, who dominated and won the opening stage. Allmendinger just outside the top 10. Herbst is 16th. Mayer is 17th. This is the quad box of the drivers going for the money. What do you see on this stop for Gibbs?
Looks like they had a little hang up on the right front. Yeah, you know, Martinsville a hard place to pit. You don't always have the most pitable car here. It just doesn't droop out very good on the right front, so he's probably struggling there. Clean and go.
That was Hollywood.
He was liking that stop.
7 guys on track, did not pit there. They had gotten their service under that last caution. Noah Gragson has the race lead, takes the inside lane alongside Myatt Snyder. Here we go with our second stage.
They had a 7-car buffer. 54 chose the outside, so he gained a couple of those guys. We'll see if he can get in line, because that'll be an advantage to having some guys on old tires around you.
Yeah, I mean, he actually helped his starting position, right, by taking that outside lane. So the 54 in a pretty good spot here in regard to track position and those fresher tires, Coleman.
Yeah, you see that choose. Ty Gibbs went from running outside the top 10 to outside row 2. That's like the best Christmas gift you can get at Martinsville. Now he's going to be able to use those tires to his advantage and catch the 9. It's interesting. It's hard for some of these guys that don't get to run up front a lot, like, you know, seeing the 07, the 26. They don't really have that knowledge with the choose, so they laid up, took the bottom, and it was a Christmas gift for Ty Gibbs.
I like Christmas.
I'm not sure Ty needs any gifts, right? I mean, he's pretty much got the car each and every week. And already back to 3rd.
See how this 88 does as the tires wear out here. I think he made a better adjustment. He's starting to, you know, he's maintained his track position so far in this run, and hopefully he's able to stay up there in the battle and keep making his car better.
No threat.
It's got the Hellman sponsorship on that car. Isn't Dale the banana and mayonnaise guy?
There you go. He is. Oh, caution is out. That's Jade Buford in the 48.
That was one of those guys that was on the strategy.
Tough break for Jade, who was scored in the 13th position when he went around.
Looks like he'll be all right there. Oh, boy.
That's from deep. Send it.
07, Joe Graff Jr.
Have to wonder if something precipitated that event, or maybe it may have just gotten a little hot there.
Looked like he was needing something to curb off of, to slow it down.
For sure, he slowed down. But I think Jade will be all right. He didn't, you know, like we got now, these composite bodies, we've seen it this year, are pretty tough. I think his fuel inlet looks to be intact, so I think he's going to be just fine here.
Jade, a couple of weeks ago, matched his career best finish at Circuit of the Americas. Noted road racer, finished 8th when we were racing in Texas. Gragson leads, and the USFL is almost here. Players are fired up and ready to go as we are just 8 days away from the start of this innovative new league. The inaugural season kicks off on April 16th. with a battle between the New Jersey Generals and Birmingham Stallions airing on both Fox and NBC.
Who's your team, Adam?
Oh, I'm a Stallion all the way.
That does fit you.
Yeah. Eric, you a General or a Stallion?
I'm the Stallion, man, for sure. For sure.
Need a team up in North Carolina. Do they have a team in Carolina?
You got a bull riding team. We should bring a USFL team.
Why don't you get in on that?
The Carolina Cowboys, we're working hard right now. The draft's coming up in May for the PBR. I'm really excited about it and been putting a lot of research in. And, the original Carolina Cowboys, Jerome Davis from North Carolina, so he's our coach this year. And looking forward to that draft, man.
So when are you hopping on the bull?
That ain't going to happen. Those boys are different. I can't believe they do that. It's a lot of fun to watch their mentality, though.
A.J. Allmendinger, 8th on track right now. Here he is under caution.
Main like a hot chocolate stand would be awesome up here. You sure are a prima donna. I'm just saying, I know you're in there just chilling. I mean, if I could turn around, actually, under caution, I would probably be the guy selling the hot chocolate.
I mean,
is that Frank?
Well, I got to know, Coleman, do you need hot chocolate?
There is no hot chocolate where we are. I don't want any of the team owners, drivers to think that we're up here eating hot chocolate, having hot snacks. We are fully focused on working, so that must have been a bleed over.
I salute the spotters tonight because it's cold outside, and you saw the flag. It's really, really windy. I mean, the fans are out in full force, as we said earlier, and I have to give a nod to our entire Fox NASCAR crew because they get in early, they leave late, and so many of our camera folks are out in the elements each and every weekend. They were here yesterday in the rain and wind and cold.
Man, it's pretty nice in this booth, I'm not going to lie.
That's mean. That's just mean.
What's the temperature at in here?
They're just kicking it down there in the 9 pit box here. Chilling out, watching a little film. You think they're learning anything on that film, or are they just saying it looks pretty good?
Look pretty good right now out front.
Updating the weather from
46.
our Fox weather app, 46 degrees. It is windy.
It's a balmy 46 degrees.
Luckily, though, it's dry. If you weren't with us earlier, we fired the engines. A little storm blew through, a little front, some rain. But we didn't lose the track. And short delay, probably about 30 minutes late, went green. How about this restart? It's going to be Gibbs on the front row with Gregson.
Yeah, and I think the 9 car, I'd love to see him on equal tires against the 54. He's been fast all night, really came through the field fast. And we'll see what he can do here with the bottom. I think Ty has a little bit of an advantage, obviously with the newer tires, but I think Noah's going to give him a fight here, and we'll see. To me, these two are the dominant cars right now.
A bit unfortunate for Noah. His strategy really is kind of went out the window. The 54 had 2 restarts work out here so well for him. He's right back on the front row, but I agree. I think Noah's going to put up a pretty good fight here.
Here's the thing, though. If Noah can stay in the top 5 by the end of the stage, he's established the track position that he needs to be able to win after starting in the back, right?
He'll absolutely be a gain on this strategy by the end.
Fired off good right there. The gears right there. He's going to have the lead off it too.
Allgaier pulled out of line. Don't write off Dale Jr. He too playing strategy, restarting inside the top 5.
I'll tell you what, it sure is a lot easier to sit here and watch them right now and tell them what they should be doing than to be in the car.
You kind of lose perspective when you're behind the wheel, right?
I mean, it's like, come on, man. What are you doing out there?
This is a restart at Martinsville right here.
Yeah, the 88 right here. He's doing everything he can to get down. He got a little bump there, maybe.
I think he can get this 31 here if he keeps working it. He's going to have to get in line here, but.
And now he's got Allgaier pulling to his inside.
It just doesn't seem like his car is still, he doesn't have it where he wants it when it comes to, rotating the center. He's got a little push right there in the middle every time.
Allgaier, the next car in line that pitted at lap 64 at the end of the stage. So he's on a little fresher tires than those guys in front of him other than Ty Gibbs. Vince?
Well, you guys noted Dale Jr. just doesn't have that car rotating the way he wants. In fact, they're talking about putting a rubber in at the next stop just to get that significant of an adjustment because he cannot get it to do what he wants. If he's to contend for the win, they got to make it better.
And Austin, that's
I can't let you break here.
That's a big change. If you're going to put a spring rubber in the right rear, I think that's going to be a pretty big shift in your car. Obviously, an extreme adjustment.
And you have to be aggressive in these Xfinity races because you only have a couple shots to get it right. So he'll add to that right rear spring probably and see if he can get it to rotate on the gas just a little better.
Myatt Snyder having a good weekend.
Coming through,
but on the receiving end of a nudge from Justin Allgaier, who said, I've got places to go. Opens the door for Brandon Jones, 19, rolling to the front. And the pickleball machine is there. Ryan Truex.
Little battle here. Noah's doing a good job maintaining, but the 54 with those fresher tires is starting to, he's breathing down his neck.
interested just to see how Ty is going to work over Noah here. Obviously, you see the aggression week in and week out from Ty. You know, this is an opportunity, faster car, to really work him over, pass him clean, and kind of establish that's how you're going to do it for today.
Halfway through our second stage, just about to the halfway point, and two young superstars battling for the top spot. You'll see it all as we go side by side. You saw it while we were away, side by side, some really good, entertaining racing here in Martinsville. Ty Gibbs takes over the race lead. Gregson is second. Justin Allgaier has fallen back to fifth, and you saw it side by side. He had a big moment.
Wheel hop city right there. Holy cow.
Just re-rack right here, re-rack.
This set's definitely a lot freer than the first set laterally, especially on entry. No change as far as balance, though.
I tell you what, that was an impressive save right there. You don't see many guys come back from that.
No, I've wrecked him. I've wrecked a car here just like that. That's.
Oh man, the 2 has got a lot of damage on the Whelen Chevy.
Riley Herbst trying to drive through.
I think him and the 31 got into it while we were at break.
There's a whole lot going on right now, Coleman.
Yeah, hey, we were talking earlier about how the track's taking rubber. We wasn't sure if it's going to happen as cold temperatures as this. I was looking at Ty Gibbs. He's running about that lane up in the corner and then really focused on getting point and drive out of his car. You back up to Justin Allgaier in fifth. After that slip up, his lap times are still good, but he's wrapping that curb super tight. Just wanted to bounce off with Austin and Eric there in the booth. Talk to everyone about the differences in lines as the track takes rubbers.
Yeah, you see guys change their lines when the rubber lays down. You see guys kind of center up their car over that line of rubber, start to dime in the corner. You see guys that really hug the apron to try and keep the left front as clean as possible in the cleanest part of the track. What line do you like? Is it more like what your car's doing at that time, or?
I think you kind of go off what you got, feel. But I really like to get down on the curb. It seems like you can almost. You can hook right around it, kind of throws you around the corner. I've done both, but kind of got to balance up what you got for your car.
Vince?
Well, you see the 21 finally giving way to the 19 of Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones been beaten on the bumper of that 21, but Austin Hill says it's just been too tight to turn the center the way he needs to, so they were stacked up behind him. Finally, Jones and Allgaier both look like they're going to get around the 21.
Really good night for Joe Gibbs Racing. Gibbs is leading. He's dominated. Brandon Jones up to third. Truex is sixth.
Even though the 21's fading here, I mean, he's on that tire strategy, and there's the caution he probably needed to be able to flip the next stage.
Stephen Parsons goes around, did the 360, and we get our 5th caution of the night.
So, Adam, what strategy are you going to use?
Well, let's first analyze this.
You know,
Joe Graff Jr.
Joe's brake pedal must be getting long.
I'm not really sure what to say about that.
This is a highlight reel. Look at that. Stephen Parsons with the save.
That was pretty nice, actually. 360, keep it going.
That's, you know, it's hard to keep the car out of the wall if you get spun right there. You're carrying a lot of speed.
Yeah, you got to commit one way or the other.
He committed to the floor.
Yeah, you go back to the strategy thing. We're going to be right around 15 laps to go in the stage. And you know, we saw there was a little more than this when we pitted there at the end of stage 1. I don't know. It's you know, track position is the end all be all. We'll see if they flip it here or not.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of these guys have made it work. Obviously, the 9 and the 21 have maintained and gained track position. So if you're one of those first 2 and you can get some guys behind you to go with it, it's probably the right move.
Riley Herbst comes in. So does the 51 of Jeremy Clements. Herbst, one of those drivers up for the dash for cash. He'd like to win 100,000.
Yeah, he's got to get tracked.
A strategy play to try and make it happen. Ty Gibbs leading 17 to go on the stage.
Race fans, just over 15 laps to go here in stage 2. I'm bringing you updates live from pit road. That 26 car of Sam Hunt currently running 19th, hoping for a top 20 finish in the stage, and that's Derek Griffith behind the wheel. Derek, 25 years old from New Hampshire. This is just his 2nd start in the series, but he is no stranger to short track racing. He is an incredibly accomplished super late model driver, earning championships all over the East Coast, including the 2018 Pro All-Star Series National Championship. Like I said, 2nd running in this series for Derek as he made his debut last week at Richmond. He plans on running a handful of races with Sam Hunt Racing this season. Keep an eye on the young superstar. Short track racing is his forte, and this could be his first top 20 finish in a stage.
NASCAR Xfinity Series racing on a Friday night. Our coverage presented by Credible. We're live in Martinsville, Virginia with Eric Jones, Austin Dillon. I'm Adam Alexander. Caution out for the 5th time. And we get set for a restart. 13 to go, stage 2. Handful of drivers pitted. The best of those Riley Herbst will restart 27th on fresh tires. Dale Jr. will go from the 12th position here.
I like it. We might not need it. We might make the right adjustment here, get this thing just right.
Copy, yeah. C12 right now, we're game a long way from the back of the pack, you know?
You did all the passing.
Yeah, I mean, strategy, right? I guess that's what he's saying there. But
yeah,
important restart. Get you set up for this last stage.
He's still confident that they can get it better, too. So, I mean, I think he's going to end up where he should be, right up there in the top 10.
Gibbs gets away quickly. Gregson took the outside lane and trying to fight down to the inside. Brandon Jones gets by.
Yeah. Brandon Jones getting up in there into second. He's been making a good run here tonight.
You know, he's been here all 3 times. The Xfinity Series has raced here last couple of years, never been outside the top 10. So this has been a sneaky good track for the driver from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hey, it's my cousin.
I did not know that.
That's not true. I knew that wasn't true. He delivered that with a straight face. Vince is my cousin. Did you know that? Well, we're both from Indiana.
Yeah, we're all on the same family tree. Yeah. You know, you're talking about Brandon Jones and how well he has run here, Adam, and I talked to him before the race about that. He said, really, they've had the speed all season long, so he was anticipating a good run tonight. He said, if we just clean up our mistakes, maximize our car, I think we're going to have a shot at it tonight, and he's in a pretty good position right now, Jamie.
And we'll keep it in the Indiana family here as we talk about Noah Gragson falling off a little bit. He has those older tires. He pitted last on lap 42. They told him, your strength is the exit. Just hang on to it. He said, our car's pretty good. I wouldn't make any adjustments if we were to pit right now.
I just go, back to that last restart. You surprised that Gregson took the outside lane as we watch a great battle here. Allmendinger, Mayer, Landon Castle a part of that mix.
That's that colleague mix that you were talking about. They're always around each other, racing hard, and those are good teammates, those 3, AJ, Landon, and Daniel, and I think they're going to make the program better throughout the year.
And racing for stage points there. We award stage points to the top 10, and we'll be paying that out here in 8 laps, so you got to go get it.
Yeah, this 21, he's trying to keep that track position he gained and kind of get back in line as fast as possible. He's on that tire disadvantage, but only 7 to go. If he can get there, he's going to have a big gain from the strategy that Andy Street chose with the 21 car.
Allmendinger and Mayer just behind him. Dash for Cash eligible.
Yeah, Austin's in a tough spot right here. He's kind of pinned on the bottom. There's about 10 cars lined up here.
That caution is out. That's number 6. Derek Griffith making his 2nd career start tonight. Driving for Sam Hunt, was running inside the top 20. Now
it looks a little different, doesn't it, Adam?
Now you got to think about how to manage strategy.
Stage points, track position. This is when it gets interesting for the crew chiefs.
Anthony Alfredo with a shove.
I don't think the 23 appreciated the block.
Yeah, I mean, you can only go so far.
Look at that left rear tire.
Yeah, he was trying to hold on.
One from New Hampshire, one from Connecticut. They probably root for the same sports teams, but they are not agreeing about the real estate on track.
Do you think they root for the Stallions or the Generals?
Patriots. Now the question becomes, do you get restarted before the stage ends? And the next question, if you can't, do you pit? Anthony Alfredo on the radio.
Did my best there. He blocked me all the way down the straightaway, and I was there. All good. Locked up trying to stay off him once he went for it.
Yeah, it's one of those things is risk versus reward. Sometimes you got to give a little bit when you come down the straightaway low. I mean, no one in this series is going to lift for you, or the Cup Series, Truck Series. A lot of guys coming here think it's the right move.
This is a huge pit stop, right? Could give you control of this race for the final stage. A good number of lead lap cars making pit stops, Jamie.
And the 7 of Justin Allgaier, you saw that brake hop earlier, and he went up the track, happy to get some fresh tires here. No adjustments for him. I think we have a few other takers. The 54 is in, and the 9 as well, Vince.
Just saw the track bar adjustment on that 21. They're still trying to free that thing up to roll the center a little bit better. They feel like if they can get it freed up to roll that center, they'll be all right, Jamie.
And Ty Gibbs had that slower stop earlier. Pretty good there. A little loose, he said, and strength is their entry, is all they've said.
Yeah, you pick pits tonight off of where you qualified last week at Richmond. Ty Gibbs was on the pole there. He gets #1 selection. They take that first pit stall. He wins the race off pit road. Gregson is second. Allgaier holds serve, +1 for A.J. Allmendinger.
Yeah, he's getting used to that #1 pit stall. I guess he'll get it next race, too, won't he?
He will. So Brandon Jones did not pit. He was running top 3. He stays out. There were 13 cars that elected to stay on track. And, you know, a couple of things here. Maybe you're chasing stage points. Maybe you feel like still got plenty of time to get back to the front if you wait it out and pit at the end of the stage.
Yeah, Brandon probably hadn't had the finishes that he's wanted this year, so he goes out there, hopefully gets a stage, a bonus point, can translate that, and then also he's got those tires. He could decide to put them on later than everybody else.
Riley Herbst's going to restart in the 7th position. He had made a pit stop at lap 103. I'm sure he will not stop unless something goes wrong here at the end of the stage, so he could be in line to gain a ton of positions. How about row 2? Ryan Sieg, David Starr. Going to be 1 to go. A little half-mile shootout to end stage 2.
This could get hectic up in the top 10. A lot of guys on old tires.
Brandon Jones takes control in that inside lane, and he wins stage number 2.
How about Stephen Parsons? I swear he just did a 360 and he got 7th place in the stage.
Outstanding effort by Parsons. For Brandon Jones, it's his first stage win of 2022. NASCAR Xfinity Series racing from Martinsville, presented by Credible. Stage 2 is over. Several different strategies playing out, but the guys that finished up front in the stage are on pit road, Vince.
That 10 of Landon Castle still looking for that front grip. The chassis adjustments being made there. The 19 of Brandon Jones coming in. They stayed out previously chasing those stage points, and it was valuable for them as they got that stage win. He really likes the car. They are going to make a slight adjustment because of the way it handles in traffic, but otherwise really happy. Okay. And the 39 of Sieg, they put some tape on the front to help with the handling there, but they've been pretty pleased.
Look at some of the drivers that stayed out that had already made pit stops. Here's your guy, Stephen Parsons. The spin, the save, the
and
race
he gets his
lead.
Stage points.
Unbelievable night for the 99. Tomorrow night, the NASCAR Cup Series is on FS1. Catch the best drivers in the world as they battle under the lights at the Paperclip in Martinsville. Our coverage begins with race day, 7 Eastern here on FS1. Chad Knaus joining Clint Boyer, Mike Joy in the booth, and it all follows Yankees Red Sox tomorrow. FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
Did the Tigers win today, Adam?
I don't know the answer to that.
But I know my Braves didn't win last night, opening day, but, you know, we went 0-4 last year to start the season and came back and won the World Series.
First career laps led for Stephen Parsons, who's probably a Tigers fan like his dad Phil. Tigers did win today, 5-4. Riley Herbst up for the dash for cash. He plays strategy, stays out. He's in the outside lane. Ty Gibbs going to come from row 2. Final stage at Martinsville. Off we go.
Good jump, Stephen.
Still out there on the door. Still out there with the run. Middle.
Those cars look the same in the front.
3 wide for the lead. Are you kidding me? And the 2 monster cars at the front. Herbst in the 98. The 54 is Ty Gibbs. And both tonight are going for the $100,000.
Stephen hanging tough up there.
Yep.
The 99 might get back down to the bottom. A battle for the lead here.
It really hasn't mattered what the strategy situation was. Ty Gibbs just seems to always find his way to the front. Allgaier pushes through to third.
Yeah, the 7, man, he was really coming before he had that big issue where he wheel hopped down into turn 3 and made a heck of a save when he did it. So interesting to see when it goes green here if he can make a little charge toward the 54.
Yeah, I'm looking for a long run, right? I mean, I don't think we've really had a run here much over 30 or 40 laps at this point. So it'll be interesting to see if this thing gets stretched out for a ways, getting some lap traffic, get some things mixed up, what really goes on up front here.
Patience is so hard in this situation right here that Jim's in. You can see the guys in front of you. It's chain reaction from the front to the back right there. And you know, man, if I can just get one more spot, I'll be in a better position.
Careful, Josh Berry. 35 going wide of Shane Lee. How do you race your boss, your teammate? This is the Bass Pro Shops onboard for Dale Jr.
Yeah, when does it go out the window? I mean, last week we saw some teammates racing pretty hard there at the end of the race. It'll be interesting if Josh gives him a little tap here. I'm pretty sure he's a big fan of the guy in front of him right now, though.
It's not beyond a junior motorsports driver to get aggressive. Sam Mayer, Shane Lee, thank you very much.
Yeah, might as well throw the deuces out too. See you later.
Stephen Parsons fading a little bit here, but my gosh, give him a ton of credit for the save and the opportunity to lead laps. And here comes Allgaier for second. He's bringing Noah Gregson with him. Jamie?
Yeah, just talking about Josh Berry running with Dale Earnhardt Jr. a year ago, that moment when Josh Berry went to victory lane and Junior said he hadn't cried that much in a long time. And I asked Josh tonight, I said, was that moment, that winning moment, what got you this full-time ride this year? He said, absolutely. That was something that needed to happen in my career, and it got me here this year. And he owes it all to Dale Jr., and their relationship is something so special. And to see them getting to race against each other is great.
He passed the boss, Jamie, and he did it clean.
Yeah.
All is right in the world. Things starting to pick up a bit here, Coleman.
Yeah, we're talking about the drivers starting to get aggressive. I seen Justin Allgaier lay the bumper to Riley Herbst, try to get that track position. If this race does have a green flag run, he doesn't want that 54 to get away. Also, backing up to what Jamie just talked about, Josh Berry. I've kept watching him all night. He's been very silent, but I still truly believe if we get a long green run, as this track takes rubber, his car stays looking good. So I'm interested to see, now that he's established somewhat track position, got some clean air in front, the laps he can put together here over the next 15, 20 laps.
The tires for Riley Herbst a little older, so he is starting to drift. Ryan Truex takes advantage. So does A.J. Allmendinger, and the next guy he'll see, the aforementioned Josh Berry in the 8.
The 8 is on the move here. Good lap times similar to the leader, actually, about 2 laps ago.
Closing on 100 laps to go, and all the drivers you expected to be at the front, they're finding their way there. Top 5, Gibbs, Allgaier, Gregson, Ryan Truex, and A.J. Allmendinger. Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. Mike Snyder getting pushed around a little bit while we were away. You saw it side by side. And for the final spot, no, actually you're racing for fourth here. It's going to be Ryan Truex, A.J. Allmendinger. Nice spirited battle, Coleman.
Yeah, this has been going on for a while. We were talking about baseball a little bit ago. AJ's got his nose in there a couple times. Strike one, strike two. Look at him shove it in there really hard to the corner. His patience is starting to wear. He realizes he has a good car right now. He's starting to get pressured from the 98 and the 8 behind him, so he's going to want to try to get around this 18 as quick as he can.
And AJ is one of those guys. We know about how good he is on road courses. I feel like he's good at Martinsville because he can brake. He knows how to maximize the braking zone, and that's where you're seeing him beating the guy in front of him. Is just all on entry mostly with you know, his experience here. He does a really good job under brake.
And man, that's a tough pass. You know, the 18's moved up there a little bit. Kind of got that big wide arc and really getting the run off the corner, taking away AJ's exit. That's going to be a tough one to make happen.
Thought he was going to get there, and then just a little bit of a bobble into the corner. Maybe he can complete the pass here. Jamie?
A.J. Allmendinger trying to secure that fourth spot. Heck of a battle here, but early on he said no turn in that race car. Needed it to be better. Well, they've adjusted the first 2 stages on this 16. He says it's the best it's been right now all night.
You know, and you got to give a call to Ryan Truex and really that entire 18 team. All-star car. You're rotating drivers weekly. They bring fast equipment each and every week. Jason Ratcliffe calling the shots, and for Truex, coming to Martinsville as a one-off can be very, very difficult.
Yeah, you've seen John Hernimanchek, Trevor Bayne, everyone that's gotten in the 18 car has been fast. Dickert does a really good job, and Coleman's right. That 8 car steady moving to the front. Martinsville's his place, man. He does a really good job here in that late model experience. He knows how to make a car better as the race goes on.
Hard racing here for 10th. I believe Sam Mayer is trying to move forward here a little bit late, making his way up.
He's doing a good job. He's getting more consistent each week. Last week at Richmond was a big race for him, winning the Dash for Cash, and you can tell that he's starting to settle in, get more comfortable in the Xfinity series, and start to maximize his equipment each and every week.
You know, his crew chief Taylor Moyer told me the one thing we need with Sam is just to string good runs together, and they're starting to do that now, and that's got to go a long way to lay a foundation, in particular with confidence for a driver that has limited experience. Noah Gragson starts in the back, uses some strategy, gets to the front. He's led laps, and third with 94 to go. Coleman?
Yeah, oh, Justin Allgaier just spun in front of him, bringing a caution out. Bring it back to you. I've noticed.
I'm going to guess that was wheel hop related.
Yeah,
there's some damage too
from the way he's gotten in the wall there.
Man, I went forward with the brakes. I don't understand.
Yep, that's what he's talking
That's
about.
what he kissed it pretty hard.
Yeah,
it's in 4. I hit it really hard.
Here's what happened. Allgaier second, right in front of his teammate.
Wow. It's the second time that's happened. He's struggling with those rear brakes, and what he said on the radio is, I went forward. He went forward with the balance. You have a brake bias in your car, and he felt like he went forward. It should have helped that issue.
You know, Austin, sometimes I think doing the opposite helps, though.
Yeah.
Almost if you go to the rear when you're struggling with wheel hop a bit, sometimes that can actually cure the issue better.
Yeah, it can really plant the back of the car. And I don't know, man. That could have also, you know, it could have built from earlier. You know, I don't know if something, you know, it's getting looser. Yeah.
Gear could have been damaged. Transmission dog rings get beat up pretty good through that. There's a lot of things that could have been going on there.
Free pass here goes to Joe Graff Jr. He's 33rd. And the reason I bring that up here is just because of all these cautions, you got so many cars still on the lead lap. I think it, you know, closes the window on your strategy a little bit. You got a set of tires, but with 92 to go, I mean, is this too early to come and use them? Boy, Graff gets the free pass, but look at his car. My goodness.
That has been rode hard and put away wet.
And the answer is,
use that.
Everybody's going to pit here.
Get your tires now so you don't have to think about it later.
They're heading your way, Vince.
Well, there was a lot of discussion on the radio about who was coming and who was not, and there was decisions being made right at the very end. The 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. has come in. He said it's just about a 3 tight. They have been twisting on this car all night long, trying to get it better. They are improving it, but it's not quite there yet, Jamie.
Noah Gragson, they thought it was going to be too soon to pit, but they said, let's see what the 54 does. And of course, he came. So then I'm putting some tires on there. Josh Berry working on the 7 after that huge hit. And the 54 said he still needs that security in the right rear. So he pitted for a small adjustment there in the battle on pit road.
Race off pit road. Noah Gragson gets out in front of Ty Gibbs. Nice stop for the 16. Allmendinger +2, +5 for Dale Jr. Riley Herbst gains a couple. Josh Berry goes in the wrong direction as they repair damage on the 7 of Justin Allgaier. There were 5 drivers that stayed out here, so we'll keep an eye on how the evening goes for them, not just because they have track position here, but they could have some tires left for later in the race. We mentioned that next weekend, Easter, dirt racing at Bristol, Tennessee. No Xfinity race next weekend in Bristol, but we're back at it in 2 weeks' time at Talladega Super Speedway. Big, fast, wide open. It's a wild card race for these Xfinity cars. And Austin, you'll be joining us in the booth. Kurt Busch will also be there.
That'll be exciting. I love Super Speedway racing, getting to hang out with our buddy Kurt Busch. And Adam, I always enjoy being up in the booth with you. It'll be an awesome race.
2 Daytona 500 winners going to be in the booth that day. That awesome.
Is true.
Let's hear from Josh Berry's radio.
Can't win races like that.
Yeah, 10-4. You'll be fine here, man. You're the guy here. You can pick us up here. Drive that thing on up there. These guys, it's going to get crazy here at the end. You know how this game is played here. You got them.
Frustrating.
Yeah.
Drive into the top 5 and lose spots on the pit lane, right? Especially here.
It is. I mean, he didn't lose too many, though. I mean, a lot of those guys that are in front of him are on old tires. You got the top 5, and, you know, the crew chief did a good job kind of focusing, giving his driver confidence. He's still in a decent position here. There's a lot of laps to go, and we'll see how this plays out.
And just like he said, these guys are they're going to get wild.
Yep.
Do every time in this race.
How many laps do you feel like we have to go green here for the guys that saved a set for it to matter?
Man, I'm thinking at least 60. At least 60 to somewhere in there, a full stage run.
Shelton Creed, Matt Mills on the front row for the restart.
Yeah, these guys out front, they want it to go green for quite some time, and then you have that caution. The problem is if you have a caution too late, cautions breed cautions, and you can't really maximize the tires that you're going to be gaining.
Noah Gragson won the race off pit road, but Ty Gibbs able to use that outside lane, get down, and he gets out in front of Noah Gragson. And based on tires, that's where you think the race for the lead eventually could come from.
I do. I mean, the choose cone is huge, and Ty's used it to advantage every time, using that outside, being able to get down and take advantage of that.
Beating and banging back here, 3 wide. We're still 3 wide. That's it's impressive.
Mayer, Hemrick, Truex.
18 was sparking there. I don't know if he's got an issue. Or...
Yeah. Creed still leading, but Brandon Jones is there. And here comes the 19 charging to the inside.
Yeah, Brandon's got a fast car. He lost a lot of track. Oh, we got one around here.
Truex hangs on to it, and there's the caution.
Caution's out.
I thought for a minute we might leave it green.
I
Connor said somebody dumped him. I don't know who it was, but they're racing there pretty hard.
Looks like it. It's
going to be the 36.
Alex LeBay.
Kind of a tough spot there. You know, I think Alex definitely drove it in there. He had his nose in there, but I think Ryan was a little cognizant of the 27 maybe. It's hard to tell.
Well, he didn't want to give it up.
Right.
stay up, now come down, come down, still flat. Quarter bumper, still in there, 99 cars is out behind you, back it down, cars.
Yeah, you know, it's late in the race. Ryan didn't want to give him the spot, and Alex didn't want to let him back down.
All right, to reset things here. Brandon Jones leads, Sheldon Creed is second, Brandon Brown is third, but all those drivers on much older tires than Ty Gibbs, who is fourth, Noah Gragson, who is sixth.
I think, if anything, this is helping the guys on old tires. It's giving a chance for the guys that just put tires on. They got a cycle on their tires now. The guys that didn't take tires, they're going to have a chance to cool down a little more, equalize with those guys with tires. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, but
no surprise as you look at our Xfinity fastest lap. Ty Gibbs is on the board. So is Noah Gragson, Justin Allgaier. They've all spent time at the front tonight. Let's go back and listen to Alex Labay.
I don't know. Try to guard when you're there. I mean, what do you want me to do? I got to lift all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm tired of these people chopping all night long.
there you have it.
It's frustrations, right? You know, it finally comes to a head and you got to make a decision whether you're going to hold your ground or not. You know, somebody's going to come out the other end not happy.
Well, Tab Boyd was fired up along with his driver. I mean, sometimes you have to manage your emotions on the spotter stand too, Coleman.
Yeah, hey, you know, we still got, you know, what, 90 laps to go here. Yeah, you're frustrated. You've been pinched out off all day, but we don't need two people frustrated. We need to try to calm that driver down, get him focused, re-rack. There's a lot of racing left to do. So it's definitely a job that, as a spotter, you have to manage the emotions. And talking last week as a cheerleader and as a psychologist, that's just a prime example to, you know, let them vent a little bit, but then tell them to re-rack and focus at the task at hand.
That's kind of what I'm like up here with Austin and Eric. I'm a cheerleader. I'm a psychologist. I'm just helping you guys through the broadcast.
Tempers have been flaring for sure.
Now, you know, Brandon Brown won last fall at Talladega, top 10 at Daytona, and got a top 10 last week at Richmond, and here he is third. Awesome to see for this driver that is from right here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Jamie?
I'm listening to Ty Gibbs radio, and Chris Gale, his crew chief, just came on the radio and said, well, there's rain about 15 miles from here. I don't know if it'll hit us, but it's out there. Hey, drivers in the booth, when you hear something like that, Austin, Eric, what do you guys do?
What do you do, Eric? Drive harder?
No, I just drive.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, I think we're all driving as hard as we can every lap, right? And obviously, maybe the intensity ramps up. Ty's on the front row here now for this restart, so probably pushes a little bit harder knowing that's the case. But, you know, I think everybody's driving hard and doing all they can.
Yeah, you know, the crew chief's doing his job, letting his driver know what's coming, because if he didn't know, you feel like you're not, you know, giving him the information he needs. But this caution helped him. I feel like he's going to have the outside of the 19, and I fully expect to be able to him to take advantage of this track position he has. But he has Noah, and Noah's probably been relayed the same message. See if the 9 gets aggressive here. They're finally on the same strategy.
Top 3 took the inside lane. Opens the door for those guys on fresher tires, as you talk about on the outside. Gibbs and Gragson in control right now. Brandon Jones restarting alongside his teammate with 79 to go.
Everybody roll, quarter, bumper.
And Brandon Jones had a good jump. Ty tried to barrel it in there, but really couldn't make it work.
Is he thinking there at all about last week and racing his teammate?
Got flat back here.
Boy, and that's a little bit of a product of you lose the track position. You start back there where things are a little more aggressive, and now Barry brings out the caution.
Yeah, that's unfortunate if that's what happened. If he got it cut down by somebody's racing. My dad always told me, you run with the dogs, you get fleas. So
I've heard it put many ways. I've never heard it put that way.
It happens.
Don't know for certain that's how the tire got cut down.
Oh.
Yeah.
The boss man. Major team drama developments.
Well, if you're Josh, if it was the other way around, it would probably be
Worse, for sure.
77 laps to go. Under caution for the 10th time tonight, Josh Berry is on pit road after getting together and cutting down a tire. Contact with the boss man.
8 blew a left rear. Yeah, he come all the way down across the racetrack on the right front. Yeah, 10-4. He's already rolling, so.
Well, they probably won't be crying together tonight.
No, I think it's going to be a different kind of meeting after the race.
Hey, but one off for Dale Jr. Starts in the back and he's 10th. That's pretty good.
Oh, he's doing a good job, man. He's hanging in there. He showed up and he's doing his job, man. He's doing a great job getting the car better throughout the night and holding his own out there.
Brandon Jones leading. His tire's 35 laps older than the guy that's second right now, Ty Gibbs. Sheldon Creed pitted at lap 117, so his tires are a lot older, and Gregson and Brown complete the top 5. Vince, how about the 88?
Well, they used the strategy, of course, to get from the back to the front. And but once they've gotten it up there, they've been fairly consistent, but they've still been working on that car to get it to Junior's liking from a handling and balance perspective. But, guys, earlier tonight he talked about how competitive this series is. And for a guy that just jumps in the car once a year, to expect to come out here and compete against these young and veteran drivers, he said it's just not realistic. He is really impressed with this series, and although he was looking forward to having fun tonight and being competitive, he was giving these guys their due, and I think he's experiencing that tonight.
Guys on the fresher tires once again take the outside lane. The best of the bunch is Ty Gibbs, who restarts outside row 1, but as we said, the tires much fresher than the race leader, the control car Brandon Jones, and Gibbs, your leader, when it comes to going after the dash for cash, a bonus $100,000 on the line. 72 laps to go.
Man, at this point, 73, if you keep having cautions, do you think these guys that are on old tires even get a chance to put their tires on?
At this point, it's going to be close. Another good restart there for Brandon Jones. Really
holding his own.
All right, now keep in mind, last week, Ty Gibbs was racing his teammate, and there goes one, Matt Mills. Man, Matt was having such a good night, too. Was inside the top 10, had played some strategy, and spent some time up front. And the 28 is Natalie Decker, also stopped on track.
Cautions breed cautions, especially here at Martinsville.
Going back to that, how do you manage that set of tires? What's tough is you got so many cars on the lead lap. I said that earlier. It's just, to give up the track position is going to be difficult.
Oh, that started almost before the braking zone a little bit.
It's 98 of Riley Herbst behind Matt Mills.
Yeah, it looks like just got turned around.
Yep. Let's see here.
He got loose there, and then he just got ran over. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's pretty. Still 70 to go. A lot of time,
Should be interesting after the race to see if there is a conversation there. Yeah, man, that was really hard. That was a hard one.
You don't think you can wreck very hard here. You're not really going that fast, but I mean, you can take some licks here.
Yeah.
He had
those impacts, the rear impact, like it's no joke. Had one at Phoenix.
Matt had a real bad crash a month ago at Las Vegas.
I remember that.
Inside wall back straightaway.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll take the toll on you. A couple of those hits stacked up. You feel those through the week.
Especially in the next-gen car.
Down inside of 70 laps to go. Teammates sit to front. They got Brandon Jones, Ty Gibbs. Different strategies there. Noah Gregson is in the game. Sheldon Creed in the top 5, even though his 2 cars a little banged up. Brandon Brown having a good night. Riley Herbst is in the top 10. He's one of those drivers going for the $100,000. We've had a whole lot happen in this race. we're in the fourth quarter, and I still feel like there's so much that's undecided.
Yeah, you know, obviously the players, the 9, the 54, and Brandon Jones is hanging tough on old tires. Exciting to see how this plays out for all the guys on a little bit different strategy.
Yeah, a lot left to figure out. There's so many things left to really play out between strategy, guys getting track position, getting up there and seeing what they can do. The 54 and the 9 finally being on the same strategy. So a lot of things here to settle in the last 70 laps.
Ty Gibbs gets the win last week, and we all know what happened. He's racing with his teammate. They trade some paint. Eventually, a little rub on John Hunter Nemechek. Ty Gibbs gets the win. It's been the focus of much conversation this week. Now he's up front a week later, another short track, and who's he racing with? Another teammate in Brandon Jones. Is that in the back of your mind at all?
Well, I don't think it can be, because the guy behind him in the 9, he's not afraid to use that bumper at all. So we know there's going to be some aggression up there at the front.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. You know, I think Ty's an aggressive driver. I think if it's on anybody's mind, it's probably on Brandon's mind right now. He's having a race with Ty, but, you know, I think like you said, Austin, Noah's going to be aggressive as well here at the end, trying to make something happen. So it's going to be fun to watch.
We talked about Jones being on the older tires. And Eric, you kind of alluded to this, but the caution laps do nothing but help him, right? I mean, and cool him down and maybe help balance out the difference there?
I think at this point, as many laps we've had under yellow here, these tires have equalized quite a bit. Obviously, there's still an advantage to being on newer tires, but with this many laps under yellow, these guys that are on older tires are definitely at way less of a disadvantage than they were when they first came down pit road.
Let's give a call to some other drivers running up inside the top 10. Anthony Alfredo has had a good night. He's 7th right now. Best car on track this evening for our motorsports.
Oh, Anthony, I told you he's been doing a good job. You know, I mean, he steadily makes his car better throughout the race. He's knocking down some solid finishes. I go back to Fontana when they got that tire advantage. I was pulling for him. I feel like a lot of people were, to see him up front running well.
He's got the High Plains Drifter in his ear, Rick Corelli.
Yeah, that's
Guiding
right.
him along.
And that SimSeat sponsorship is so funny to me, because he did a race for RCR a couple of years ago. Chad Knaus was in the booth, and he had just been over at Chad's helping him install his sim. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, actually, Anthony, he got my iRacing rig up and running for me. I mean, he told me something. He built his first computer at like 12 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to take hard drives out of computers and smash them with hammers.
No.
I think that's totally different, actually.
Yeah. You don't think that's the same?
Talk about Anthony Alfredo. Here's the team car. Jeff Burton is 12th. Appreciate him carrying our state water heaters onboard camera. It's time for the choose. This time Gregson goes low. He's been going high and following Ty Gibbs. This time he goes to the inside.
Yeah, you know, I mean, 19's getting a couple good jumps. He's thinking if that 19 can stay even with the 54. I don't know what Noah thinks, you know. I mean, he might be wanting to send the 19 into the 54 and take the lead here.
You know, if it was a green-white checkered, I could very well see that happening.
You know, he got together on a restart right around this stage in the fall with Ty Gibbs at the front. So, you know, this is that time of the race where things are going to start getting really physical.
Yeah, when it gets later, it's the 19 into the 54 9-ball corner pocket.
Brandon didn't get quite the jump there, but yeah, see, Ty's really he's gonna hold him tight here. He's gonna try to get back control of this race.
Hang with him, don't let him use you. Still outside.
Nice.
He don't hold you tight, hold him tight. Still outside.
Contact. Brandon Jones into Ty Gibbs. Waiting in the wings, Noah Gregson. We remind you again, those are teammates side by side.
You know, Brandon's doing everything he can here, but it's just kind of a matter of time at this point.
Gibbs is all clear, and he takes over the race lead one more time.
Man, I was hoping the 9 car was going to make my call come true there. That was going to be fun to watch, but he's being patient. Well, say that. Not anymore.
He's not going to want to waste any time here with this 19. 60 laps to go. I think he's going to want to keep pushing Ty hard here and be with him.
How about it, Jamie?
Well, the problem for Noah Gragson is when the caution comes out and all that rubber's picked up, his car just fires off bad. He said once it gets rubbered up, we're good. So he's got his hands full here early after these restarts.
Yeah, crazy what this track does when the caution comes out. You pick up all that rubber that you've been laying down, so you need those long runs. And I understand what Noah's saying, because some guys have the short run car that really fires off, or a car that just gets better as the rubber builds.
Allmendinger for third, and this is big for him because he's second in line, going for the dash for cash, and right behind him, Riley Herbst, who's also chasing the payday.
Eric, talk about that curb right there. When you're in a rhythm and you catch that curb, how annoying is it? Like coming off turn 4.
Yeah, it really throws you off. Seems like you hit it more on 3 wide here. The 31, he has been in just complete chaos from lap 100 on. But no, that curb for sure. Martinsville's such a rhythm track, and you get dialed in and get that sound in your head and the feel in your feet going. Everything's kind of flowing, and then you hit the curb and you got to start all over. It's like a metronome that's off sync.
Yeah.
This is such a great track, to learn on. And I just look at Parsons, and he sticks his nose in and gets thrown away. And
yeah.
he just keeps coming back for more. And that is how you develop and get better as a driver.
Yeah, you have to do that. You can't give up. You have to continually try to, find goals and make them. I mean, he's doing a good job staying in there. Whatever his goal is, completing this race should be part of it. Oh, wow. Driving the wheels off of it.
And that's with 55 to go. Actually, when that happened, it was closer to 60.
Sheldon Creed making his way back to the front here, Austin. He seemed to made his car quite a bit better.
Well, they decided to stay out. They were kind of back there in some traffic, and they've stayed out, and it's kind of worked out for them. They've been able to maintain that track position. Track position, to me, has been the big thing for a lot of these guys, is just maintaining it on older tires.
Yeah, I think you look at the 54 and the 9, and they've had the speed to really get to the front no matter what, but the rest of these guys are having to really play the strategy game a bit.
We're going to work in another break. 53 laps to go in Martinsville. Gibbs, Gragson, Allmendinger, Jones, Herbst, and Creed, the top 6.
The 9's, he's holding his own.
Laps are ticking down quickly here at Martinsville Speedway. Under 50 laps to go now in the Xfinity Series race. That 9 car of Noah Gragson currently running second. Gragson has raced at this racetrack 3 times in his Xfinity Series career. He has finished first, second, and third. Doesn't know how it feels to finish outside the top 3 here, but he does know how it feels to get to victory lane. He also knows how it feels to battle a teammate to do so. So that 9 car of Noah Gragson, keep an eye on him as he is trying to get himself back to victory lane tonight.
Inside of 50 laps remaining. Ty Gibbs leading. Noah Gragson is second. Third right now is A.J. Allmendinger. We said off the top, they are the big three, and they are delivering tonight.
Yeah, they are.
Second straight week that Ty Gibbs has led over 100 laps and trying to win from the pole on a pair of short tracks.
Noah's been hanging tough in this run here. I mean, they're back and forth on lap times. Noah's been a little bit quicker here. Be fun to see it keep playing out. I'd love to see it stay green here for a bit. See how it plays out.
Coleman?
Yeah, hey, we've seen the 19 car, you know, he fell back a little bit after the restart. He's starting to find something here. I don't know if the rubber on the track's coming to him. AJ got around him and started driving away. The last few laps, he started pressuring him. Obviously, it's a teammate to Ty Gibbs. Maybe the 19 has some long run speed here as we get some rubber on the track. If he can get around to AJ pretty quick, it'll be interesting to see what kind of lap times he can make.
And you know, I know that we've had some cautions, but he's got like 80 laps on those tires, does Brandon Jones. And I mean, the 31 is just beaten and battered for Myatt Snyder.
He deserves an award.
Yeah.
The Busted Knuckle Award, maybe.
He'll have a lot of souvenirs afterwards with that body.
Okay, managing lap traffic. Put me behind the wheel with Ty Gibbs. What are you thinking here?
It's a special teams, man. When you think about racing and what this is the special teams. You know, this is your field goal unit. This is, you got a fast car. You got the best one today, it looks like. You got to make your special teams work for you and take advantage.
Yeah, you know, you're getting to the back of this field, and you know you can't mess around right here, but you also don't want a caution. You want to make as much time as possible, and hopefully your spotter's up there getting as much help as he can. But these guys are racing hard, you know, to keep on the lead lap.
The worst case scenario right here for Ty Gibbs. You had them side by side, stuck behind one right now. You know, this is time for Noah to take advantage.
Yeah, and all these cars that they're racing, as you point out, tail into the lead lap. Vargas just went a lap down. Hard to imagine. Joe Graff Jr. is trying to, you know, hang in there as well. So these guys are trying to
every
be
one
a part
of these
the
guys,
equation, right?
Yeah, they're all going to race you hard because, you know, caution comes out, they're back there and they can get more positions, and not going to be any give-me's for Ty Gibbs the rest of the way, especially because all these guys are on the lead lap.
You know, the leader kind of has to clear the way. You know, I think the guy in second is at an advantage here. The leader has to make the holes, get through, and once they go a lap down, you kind of lose a little bit of fight in you.
Right.
Sam Mayer continues to impress.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. You know, his car's, he's gotten better throughout this race. I mean, the last time we talked about him, he was moving in the top 10, and now he's creeping on the door of the top 5. So,
yeah, fun to watch when, you know, young guys come into the series and have a lot of talent, have a lot of speed. Sam's showing that speed. He just has to kind of put together the rest of it. I think that's what he's been focusing on.
Jamie Little.
And Ty Gibbs, they just told him on the radio, we're a little bit tighter than the 9. That's why he's able to roll the middle better than us. And meanwhile, on the 9, they said our goal right here is to navigate and work through traffic better than the 54. So advantage 9 right now.
And you saw a second ago just the entry that the 9 car can roll, and I think that's going to be a big advantage for him if he can get close enough to really give Ty a run for his money here.
If you weren't with us to start this race, Noah Gragson qualified 3rd. But because they had a tire issue, had to change a tire because he slid in his qualifying run yesterday, they had to drop to the tail. They used strategy, flipped the stage, gained some track position, and then got themselves in the game, and that is why they are where they are. Similar situation here in the fall when he was able to get to victory lane. We'll see if that strategy is able to put him over the top, and if he can run down Ty Gibbs and make it 2 in a row at Martinsville.
Yeah, that fight that they had on the older tires when they flipped the stage is what, you know, is giving him this opportunity right here to try and go out and take this race from the 54. This might be a hard one to pass here.
Allgaier still on the lead lap despite all the damage. Not anymore. Ty Gibbs drives by.
54's done a good job through traffic so far. I mean, he's got a big group coming up in the next probably 20 laps that will make it interesting. But with 32 to go, he's doing a good job, you know, cutting his way through traffic.
Yeah, you see a conglomerate there of cars, but Ty did, like you said, did a good job just keeping it even. You know, you don't always have to gain, but as long as you can keep it to what it was, I think that's a win through traffic.
Down to 30 laps to go. Ty Gibbs leading Noah Gragson, A.J. Allmendinger, and there's the caution.
Back her down here.
Our 12th yellow of the night.
Right front issue there for Stephen Parsons.
No smoke.
No, there is no smoke.
Cool a little bit and then pump them up.
Oh, lost brakes.
So you got 24 cars on the lead lap. There are some drivers out there that have tires. You're going to be down, you know, roughly 25 laps to go.
This is actually.
Is it worth it?
If you're falling back on them.
Yeah, you're going to see a split here, right? Obviously, your top 2 or 3 are not coming in, but
well, I mean, they can't because the top 3 don't have tires, but Brandon Jones is 4th. Based on my math, should have a set of tires. I look back there, Brandon Brown, Anthony Alfredo. These are all drivers that pitted at lap 124.
I think, you know, 11th, 12th, Brown, Alfredo, they have a shot to do something with them, but you know these cautions are just going to follow each other from here on out. It's getting ready to get elbows up.
What are you hearing on pit road, Vince?
Well, big decision for Brandon Jones in that 19. Brandon doesn't like the way the car's handling, just too tight for him. But with 24 cars on the lead lap, they're concerned that if they come to pit road, they're going to get stuck back too far and not be able to get back up. And they have too good of an opportunity here for a good points day, sitting 4th. So it's a big decision, but I think they're going to stay out right here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the big thing right now is what you said, Vince. There's just so many cars on the lead lap, and you're going to give up so much track position, and probably we're going to get more cautions, which means less opportunities under green to make good with those fresh tires, right?
Yeah, only 28 laps to go, and look, we got one taker in Brandon Brown, so we'll see how it works out for him. He came in running 11th. He's going to get 4 fresh tires. For the guys like that, I think it's an opportunity. You got to take it when you got those tires because you're outside the top 10. You got to take the advantage you got here, and that's 4 fresh tires from ready to go.
Well, he's got a lot less ground to cover to get back and make this work.
I mean, I think he can get back to where he was running pretty easily. It's if he makes it a gain, and you know, truthfully, I think he could.
Look at these numbers. You know, Ty Gibbs won his first 2 races this year, Las Vegas and Atlanta. He led a combined 7 laps. Goes out last week at Richmond, gets a stage win, leads, you know, 114, gets his 3rd checkered flag of the year, and who knows how tonight will unfold, but reality is it's been another dominating performance for Ty Gibbs.
You know, I mean, he's been aggressive and obviously making some aggressive moves, but yeah, why not? They can't catch him. They can't get back to him to give it back. So, I mean, he's doing it.
You know what Boyer would say right now? The pay window is open. And quite literally it is for these 4 drivers. Gibbs, A.J. Allmendinger, Sam Mayer, Riley Herbst, the 4 drivers up for the dash for cash. Again, you don't have to win the race. You just have to finish in front of the other 3. Gibbs obviously the favorite right now, but who knows what will unfold in these final 25 laps, Coleman.
Yeah, hey, I'm really interested to see how this choose is going to play out. We're seeing it coming. I can see the 19 laying up, taking the bottom lane, which opens up the 2nd row for Sam Mayer. Watching the lap times, the last 5 laps of that run, Sam Mayer was super fast, and it looks like that's what he's going to get. It's going to be interesting to see if he can get down quick, even behind AJ, +1 on the restart, if he can choose this 54 and 9 these last 25 laps.
Yeah, you know, Sam was really fast last week when he was going for that dash for cash at the end of the run. Like Coleman said, he's got some long run speed, and he seems to take care of his tires well. So We'll see if he did a good job of it right here, but they got to fire. You got to refire, and that's key right here with this starting position.
You know what won the race for Noah here in the fall? Power move on the outside late restart.
This is all about preparation right here. You know, you see these guys scrubbing their tires, buzzing the rears. It's whoever did the best job right here, keeping their stuff prepped, outworking the next guy. That's who's going to have the advantage.
2 drivers you think will be running for the championship later this year. On the front row, restart, 24 to go, Gibbs and Gregson. Huge jump for Gibbs to take the top spot.
Yeah, he got through the gears really well at launch when he hit the gas. Did a good job, you know, getting that advantage. He's right back where he was before he went to break.
Mayer trying to power to third in the outside lane.
And pretty hot right there.
I still think he's going to gain. I think Coleman's right. He looks fast right here. To be able to hang on the outside like that, that's impressive.
I can't believe he got that far up the track, and he's going to clear him here. That's impressive, very impressive.
He was rolling. He was 4 laps down here in October, came back to finish 4th. That was his best career finish till he was 3rd last Saturday at Richmond, and here he is running 3rd again. And look at this, Dale Jr., Ryan Sieg, Austin Hill. This is a mess.
3 wide, late in the race. Boy. It never turns out good.
Keep coming low, caution's out, caution is out.
Daniel Hemrick paid the price.
Yeah, it just wasn't going to work there. Too many guys going for too little real estate.
You ain't got to worry about the pace car, you're fine.
Yeah, it started pretty far back here.
2's getting a little help from the 21, maybe.
That was into turn 1.
1 into 2. That's a lot going on.
Yeah, you know, it's...
Oh, he had the flat.
Oh, yeah.
He got a flat off the contact.
I was watching that, and I'm like, how did the 11 end up getting involved? It was because the tire was down, and eventually he just went for a ride in turn 3.
Yeah, a lot of beating and banging, but you know, 20 laps to go here. You see a hole, you see somebody checking up, you're gonna go for it.
Dale Jr. had a front row seat for all of that in the 88.
There you go, buddy. Over. Sorry, I keep hitting this. Oh, it's all good, man. You know, he don't really know every time. You know what?
Hey, free pass here, Justin Allgaier. I know that car's beat up, but
I might have a question for Coleman. How many times do you guys actually relay the message that we're sorry? Or does that even go on up there? Do you guys actually, you know, tell the other spotter, you know, please tell them that we're sorry?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on how many run-ins you've had with the guy, you know, and maybe that's a question we can bring back to you. Is there certain guys that you want to make sure that delivery gets across from, and then sometimes you're just saying it to say it?
I'm never saying it.
Go ahead, answer the question, drivers.
They ain't gonna accept it anyways, even if you say it.
Yeah, it's probably not worth the waste of oxygen.
It was funny, though, because Ryan Blaney was with us on Race Hub this week.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the situation he had with Ross Chastain at Richmond. And it was like, you know, we get run up the track, I hit him, he hits me, then we're good. And I'm like, so you know that. I mean, sometimes do you just know behind the wheel we've paid each other back and everything, it's time to move on?
Well, I think you know when you do something, you probably expect some retaliation at times. Yeah. Moves you make. You know, every guy in the field's pretty good at what they do, and it's pretty rare that something is totally unintentional on anyone's part.
I just love the drama in the spotter stand, you know?
Tire guys and spotters.
Yeah.
That's all the drama in NASCAR.
Need a space heater up there tonight. It's cold here in Martinsville. And
we should actually put a camera up there to see what kind of communication goes on between them, you know, from driver to driver, relaying those messages, or if there's any of them, you know, getting a little physical up there.
My spotter, Rick Corelli, he can take an apple and rip it in half with his hands.
That's impressive.
So what you're saying
So
is
don't send
away.
a message to Rick.
Yeah.
don't mess with Rick.
Don't mess with Rick.
Lights are out on the pace vehicle. 4 of the top 6 eligible for a $100,000 bonus. They're highlighted in purple on the scoring pylon.
What's Junior's record the last couple race starts that he's had? I feel like he's always in the top 10 when he
Always
comes into
competitive.
these single events. He's right there on the edge of if he's got a kind of streak going. Or
Gregson outside lane. Gibbs inside. 16 remaining. Row 2, Mayer and Jones.
Good restart there. The outside from Noah.
Now he's got to race his teammate. Here comes the one of Mayer.
He's going to have a hard time. Sam Mayer might sneak into this
telling
thing.
you what, Coleman
He is
right.
rolling. He is rolling.
I did not see this coming. Coleman, what do you think, man? That call on the 1 car, you called it, man. He's got his stuff together here late in the race.
Yeah, hey, we're seeing him clear the 9 right now. Now he has, 15 laps to go work the 54. If any of you guys followed short track racing through the ARCA Menard series the last few years, you know these two drivers have a history of running into each other. Bitter, fierce rivals. Finished 1-2 to each other a lot. I think the last 15 laps of this race is going to be exciting. If I'm the 1 car spotter, I'm telling him to stay focused at the task at hand and go get him.
Another caution.
Another yellow here. You know, I watched the one there, and right after he cleared Noah there, it looked like he was just over driving a little bit. That's going to be a big thing for him. Just staying calm, got a fast car, focus on hitting your marks, and you're going to go up there and contend with him.
Yeah, as soon as he got the second there, you saw he kind of missed a couple corners on entry. But man, when he gets off the brake, the thing rotates really well. So, and he's fired off good, so he's going to get that opportunity to start beside the 54 or right behind him.
Yeah, I think if you're Sam, you take the top here, as good as his car is, and we saw him on the top there against AJ Allmendinger.
He's made it work.
Here's the reason for the caution.
It just looked like maybe locked the rears up there.
Yeah.
Derek Griffith 26, Jade Buford 48. And this next restart going to come about 10 to go. You look at Gibbs and Mayer. Gibbs 19, Mayer 18. Both racing for $100,000 tonight. Both making their 26th career start. Mayer just continues to take steps, Vince.
He does indeed, and tonight I've been impressed. You guys noted it looked like he overdrove it a little bit when he got into second, but up until that point I think he'd been really strong in not overdriving the car, considering how fast of a race car he has. He's taken what it has given him. We'll see if he can do that here on this restart. The spotter just let him know that Ty Gibbs has really had to use his tires on these last few restarts, and they may be able to get him here, but certainly encouraging him to stay focused and hit his marks each time he goes through the corner.
Hey, Coleman, what do you think here on the choose? If you're the 1 car, you've seen him make the outside work, and obviously I feel like he's saved his tires pretty well. Are you telling him, hey, man, let's go after this, let's get to the outside, start on the front row?
So here's the thing, we've seen him clear for second. His next 2 corners he overdrove. You want to be clean air in front of you without having anyone relative to base your braking point off of, or do you lay up, go behind the control car? You're going to be within 9 laps to go and know that you can use that front bumper. He just got the second place from the inside second row. I think he takes the inside of second row here too. Lays up, tries to get clear, but potentially with some front bumper.
There you go. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, he's done a good job at this point getting to this position from, what he did on the long run. Obviously, saving his tires, and he's been able to be aggressive. What do you think, Eric?
Man, if I'm Sam, I'm taking the top. I mean, I think my car has been good enough. I know if I can get a good restart here, stay even with the 54, pin him down, man. Put him on put it on his door and hold him tight and try to get up front.
Team radio for the 1 of Sam Mayer.
All right, Sammy, listen to me. You're beating up your front tires pretty good, you know what I mean? You've whooped them pretty hard these last 2 restarts, so you got to have some life in them so that thing will still cut so you can get to him.
10-4, I'll be 9.
Sammy.
It's 10 to go.
Yeah,
use them up.
Go. Yeah, you don't need them. You don't need them. You don't want to get out of the car and say, man, I could have won another 100 on them.
Yeah, even if you say, has the choose happened already? Yep, he chose the outside. Okay. Well, I mean, with 9 to go, you can almost hang on to the outside for a couple laps here if you can stay even with him getting to turn 1. I mean, it's hard for that bottom guy to really, clear you if you can just keep him held down for a couple, but I will say 8 tires is always better than 4.
Yeah, I think the big thing here for Sam is just this restart coming up, making sure he's staying as close to even with the front of the 54 car as he can. If he can stay even with him through 1 and 2, he's going to be in a good spot getting down the backstretch.
8 laps to go. Big finish coming at Martinsville. 2 teenagers set to battle it out. Gibbs and Mayer.
Great restart from Sam Mayer there.
Dale Jr. around.
Whoa. One more. There you go. Spin it around. Might want to scuff Jason.
15th. Yellow flag tonight.
You cleared me low there, didn't you? Well, yeah, then the 51 and the 2 got into a braking, or the 8 got into a braking contest and drove it in super deep on each other.
More drama.
Okay.
From the 8 and the 88. Oh.
Got stacked there. Yep.
That's just
TJ said it. What happened?
Late race Martinsville restart.
But all that happening inside the top 15.
I think the 2 missed a shift, stacked them up, and then
Side to inside. Hold the brake. Hold the brake.
a chain reaction at Martinsville.
I think the chip works. They put the chip in the ignition this week.
I think he was having fun right there, doing a little drifting.
Getting
at that
going.
point.
Now we get to do it all over again. Did you learn anything there? Did we have enough time to gain anything for those guys up front to reevaluate what they do as far as the choose this time around?
It's so tough, man. Ty's done a really good job launching in the restart zone. So it doesn't look like anybody's been on the outside of him and been able to match him into turn one. So it's hard, you know. I mean, Coleman made the call to try to do the inside, but now you're down to 5 to go. I think you just have to match Ty coming to that restart zone. Try and stay even with him and get a launch.
That's tough, you know. If you're the one, you've got a big choice, right? You know, it looked like he couldn't quite hang through 1 and 2, even though I felt like he had a good restart. He just kind of got beat into the corner through the center and lost all his ground.
I will say, you know, bringing Coleman on this too is on the restart, you start timing guys. Somebody has tendencies. Does the 54 have the tendency to leave later or earlier in the box? The one just went to school right there on that last one. Let's see if he learns anything. What do you think, Coleman? Are you still laying up or are you going to the outside with only 5 to go?
You know, I'm still thinking the bottom. I look at the restart. He launched with him. He got through the gears with him. It was going into turn 1. He still had a nose at his door. Off of turn 2 is where the 54 cleared him. Typically, that's what you've seen all night. The 54, he's gone early in the zone all night. But as good as the one car launched out of the box, you got to ask yourself the question, what am I willing to do for $100,000? That's what these guys are racing for right here. But you also got to keep in the back of the mind, hey, I'm going to race this guy for a championship the rest of the year. So, you know, what are you drivers willing to do for $100,000 at this point?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, for sure. Go for it. But, you know, I think if
I wonder which owner gave the driver the better deal. We'll see here, I guess, in a second.
Yeah, what's their cut? If we know that, we got a good idea. But if you're Sam, you know, you've seen Ty race this year, right?
It's a first win for Sam he's fighting for.
His first win. You've seen Ty's been aggressive, and if you know he's going to do
last week.
Yeah, go for it. I think he'd say, get the money.
Hey, you know, Sam Mayer, here's an interesting part of this story.
Show me the money.
His crew chief is Taylor Moyer, who was on the box 1 year ago when Josh Berry got his first career win at Martinsville. And actually, at that time, that was the first win for Taylor as well.
Be an interesting question if Sam wins this afterwards for Taylor. Did you bring the same setup for both cars?
Yeah, and, you know, just to think about the nerves that's going through Sam Mayer's head right now. 18, 19 years old, going for your first Xfinity win.
Yeah.
You got a lot going through there right in this moment.
Well, you think about Ty Gibbs, you know, he comes over last year, runs part-time, did so many positive things, wins Rookie of the Year, despite the fact he ran part-time, comes into this season going full-time, gets that win at Las Vegas, backs it up, last lap pass at Atlanta, and last weekend, another last lap pass. In fact, if you look at the last 8 races in Xfinity Series competition, we've had 4 last lap passes, and Ty Gibbs has been a big part of all that. So the coach's grandson knows what it's all about to compete at a very high level. He's won 7 times in his first 25 starts. That's 28%. The youngest driver ever to get to 7 career victories.
I mean, it's so impressive. The numbers don't lie. Now, Ty's done a great job week in and week out. But I would be remiss right now to not bring up Noah Gragson sitting in 3rd. He has proven to do whatever it takes a lot of times too in this situation in that Bass Pro Shop Chevy. We'll see what he has up his sleeves here. I'm sure he's licking his chops right now. He got the position that Coleman chose. See what he can do.
Yeah, Mayer does go outside. He doesn't take Coleman's advice, so it'll be the teenagers on the front row again. Gregson goes inside row 2. Outside of him, A.J. Allmendinger. We've gone past regulation, so this will be overtime, a 2-lap shootout. Once the leader takes the white flag, the next flag ends the race. If the caution comes out prior to the white, we'll reset him and do it all again. It's overtime at Martinsville, presented by Credit One Bank.
Who are you taking, Adam?
I can't bet against Gibbs. I mean, I know that's low-hanging fruit, but he's been incredible.
I'm going to go with the 9.
And there goes the 9, turned on the restart. And a big crash going into turn 1.
That was not ideal.
I didn't see that coming.
Easy here. The safety trucks are coming out. Back it down.
This is a parking lot.
Cow.
This is incredible.
We're still wrecking. Stay in it. This reminds me of the Derby at the local fair.
My goodness.
Brandon Brown.
Tires didn't play out so well with track position.
Last time I saw something like that at Martinsville, what was the year? Remember everybody wrecked coming to the start-finish line? Like the field got cleaned out. 2017, maybe?
It was a lot.
Mason Massey banged up. Saw Sheldon Creed.
Oh, a lot of tore-up race cars here.
That's going to be tough to finish a race like that visually.
Here into 3.
Could put his head out the window and peek around.
And we've got a red flag.
Our 16th caution has led us to a red flag, and it all happened. Restart, first overtime.
Man.
Spin the tires on the 1, or
Sam tried to time it, went a little early, and it slowed down, and then tried to go again. And that's obviously, as you know, an easy way to get your tires spinning, kind of stopping and going. And
yeah,
just
16 got into him about the time that happens, and then he turns his teammate.
The 16 was getting pushed from behind as well. I mean, it's just nobody's gonna lift at this point.
Riding here with Jeb Burton.
Really quick. Now choking.
This is gonna get ugly quick.
Somebody rolling here. Horns. Business shift. Check low. Get down.
Oh. That's some hard hits there.
Lots going through your mind trying to process. Man, I was just fine like 15 seconds ago.
Yeah, what happened?
Coleman, what'd you see on that restart?
Yeah, hey, you know, we just talked about how, you know, the 54 was going early in the zone every time. He didn't really play many games with him. The one just kind of miscalculated that, got in the gas too hard and spun his tires. Kind of just what I've been talking about, taking the bottom. You know, he hasn't been in this experienced spot, like taking the front row on these restarts. Whenever you take inside of row 2, you can just really, you know, manage that gap and manage and understand what the 54 is going to do on his launch. It at least keeps you in the game. Unfortunately, right there, he spun his tires and then all heck broke loose.
It's going to be really interesting to see how all of this is scored once we sort through the mess. Here's 54 team radio.
What happened there? Well, the ones were worried about tagging us on the side down the straightaway, then getting going. So I had wheel in it to get to your side there and buzz the tires because he was turning down the hill, and then they all got hooked there together.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he purposely tried to get in his right rear quarter panel on the jump, but I mean, he definitely was tight to him. It just, I think he started spinning the tires and it angled him.
I really think he went, stopped, and tried to go again, and just started spinning the tires really bad.
Yeah.
So we'll step aside. We had an overtime restart to end it, and we couldn't even make it to turn 1. One thing that hasn't changed, Ty Gibbs still leading at Martinsville. What a crash. It's been a long night for the NASCAR Xfinity Series in Martinsville, Virginia. All set to go green. A little front moves through. Got windy, a little rain, so it delayed us about 30 minutes. Quick caution for Brennan Poole.
I forgot it even rained at this point.
Yeah.
I know.
The call 811 before you dig 250. Man, I don't know if it's a derby or a race or what.
Ty Gibbs, good from the pole, wins the opening stage. Jade Buford went for a ride. This was the save of the night, I think.
Yes, got to be 10 out of 10 on that.
Might have a career in Hollywood coming up.
He came back to lead, did Stephen Parsons. Brandon Jones takes stage 2.
Wheel Hop City.
Yeah, Allgaier starts on the front row, but on a couple of different occasions went hopping through the corner.
This one might.
Teammate
not the one I was thinking. Yeah, that was the 8.
Yeah, that was Dale Jr., Josh Berry getting together. Berry cuts down the tire. Look at that 88. I mean, that's a typical Martinsville car, isn't it?
It's the old mayonnaise machine.
And this our restart in overtime.
The big one.
Mayer on the front row with Gibbs. 1 into the 9. We parked him in turn 1. And caution number 16 leads to a red flag.
We're 3 away from tying the record.
I'm not sure we're going to have enough cars left to get to the record of 19 cautions. Vince, what's happening down there?
With Chris Gale, the crew chief for Ty Gibbs, and you guys have fended off these restarts so far. What's the key to doing it again?
Getting a good restart initially out of the box, and then getting a good launch off of 2. Right, we don't need to let anybody get to our bumper. Here is the thing. So as long as we can get a good launch off 2, good launch off 4, we should be okay. Which he's done a great job at that all day. Well, one more time, right? You knew it was going to come down to restarts at the end of this at Martinsville. So here we go.
Yes, it is short track at its best. Let's go to Jamie.
And Jeff Mendering, the man on top of the boxer, Brandon Jones. So he has barely escaped. If you could tell your driver anything right now about beating that 54 here at the final couple of laps, what do you tell him?
I'm going to tell him to wreck him.
We love this
been
guy.
Doing an unbelievable job today. And, I mean, it's a win. We need a win. So I expect him to get a little aggressive, and hopefully we can pull one out here.
All right, that was a popular reaction by you.
Quote of the night, just wreck him.
Hey, he was honest.
Hey, you know what? He last pitted, Brandon Jones last pitted at lap 124 or 2 hours ago, whichever way you want to measure it. I mean, it seems like forever ago that they made a pit stop.
Now he's laughing, but the first comment, like, he just filled it up afterwards, like, yeah I mean, it's what he expects him to do.
I think he was dead serious.
Yeah, this has been a great combo, Jeff Mendering, Brandon Jones. They've had a lot of success together, and they haven't pitted in a long time, but boy, he has hung in there tonight.
Talk to your cousin there, Eric.
Hey, breaker, Brandon Jones. This is Eric Jones, Austin Dillon, and Adam Alexander up here in the Fox booth. You got me?
I got you. What's going on up there, buddy?
Oh, we're just enjoying this race. Looks like you've had quite a day, up and down. Some strategy put you behind, but now you're all the way back up here to second. We've put down a beach here in Martinsville, Virginia. So what do you think for this last restart? What's going to take here to get up here and beat your teammate?
Yeah, man, he's definitely been fast right here. I don't know, man. We ran this race really smart all day. I've really liked all the calls we made. The adjustments have all been in the right direction, and we've been doing all the right stuff inside the race car here. So I think get to that 54's left rear here and give him a ride, and we'll see. I know he's super aggressive here with everybody else, so we'll just have to see how it plays out. But I certainly like my odds in second over leading.
Well, your crew chief was just on TV, and he basically said do what it takes here to get the win. So we're expecting to see a show here at the end.
Sounds good. I'll try to give the Jones name some proud moments here.
On 10-4, over and out up here. Good luck.
I was waiting for a thanks, fam.
Well, I was just going to say to Eric at the end of the interview, why didn't you ask him or deliver the message that his crew chief had for us? And we didn't have to, because he was ready to do it.
He was. They seem to be on the same page. I don't know if they're in cahoots here before we got to Brandon, but they seem to be thinking the same thing.
Yeah, he answered it for you.
This is. I don't know when we'll return to the green flag, but when we do,
maybe he could give him a bathtub or a shower after the race.
You know, we've had
Menards, they do have it all.
They do.
We've had almost 1,300 races all time in the Xfinity Series. Only 9 have had more cautions than this race tonight. We're a part of history. I don't know what it is about the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2022. This is our 8th race, the 4th different race in which we've had a red flag. Now, I will tell you, in 2 of the previous 3, Ty Gibbs has gone on to win, and here he is leading. I don't know what records you want to own, but that's a pretty good one. 3 of 4 after a red flag going on to get the victory, right?
I would take that. I'm beginning to feel like we were calling the Rolex 24 at this point.
Does the message in any way get to Ty that his teammate Brandon Jones is able and willing to do anything to go out and get this win and take it away from his teammate?
Yeah, if I'm the crew chief on the 54, I'm probably not going to mention what was just said. But, you know, he knows what happens here at Martinsville. Anything can happen. And when you're in that position, you're going to try and take advantage of it. The 19 doesn't have a win. He says he's going to go get it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I mean, I hope he sticks to his word, right?
Yeah.
You know, it'd be exciting to see if goes up there and makes something happen with the 54. He doesn't
I'd like to
necessarily
see
have
the white
wreck him.
flag get taken. And
yeah,
then it
that would be a positive.
Yeah.
Yes, that means if the caution does come out again, the race is in fact official. If you're Ty Gibbs, because think about all the restarts he's had to go through from that top position. Now you're under the red flag. Can you overthink this a little bit and psych yourself out for the next overtime restart?
You can, but, I mean, you know you've done it all night. You got to stick with what you know. Don't try and change it up too much. Just fire, get your tires back, heat it up when we go back here, and do what you've done all night. Don't change anything too much. I think you just stick with your plan. It's been working.
I agree. It's taxing running through that many restarts, and especially when you're the leader and you got the fastest car, and at a place like Martinsville, right? You know anything can happen. You know these guys are right behind you. Green, white, checkered. You know they're willing to do anything to go up there and get it. So it's taxing on you for sure, but Ty's been doing a good job.
The other thought I would have is we've
got a bit of
it's a beach out there. The speedy dry. I don't know how much longer it's going to be here. But the one thing I would say is, you know, we're talking so much about the teammates and Ty Gibbs and Brandon Jones, and that's fair, right? Because we feel like that is where this race likely will be decided. However, if it gets as physical as we anticipate it might, and they have somewhat on their own predicted it will, you look at those guys behind him. I mean, there are going to be some drivers up there in position to steal one tonight just because of how aggressive it could get between these two teammates.
You know, and before we went to the break, we found out Sam said his car popped out of gear, right? So he's going to be looking to correct that mistake. He's probably feeling pretty bad about what just happened with his teammate and himself. He's in 3rd. He can still attack from there. So, you know, his mind's got to be thinking the same way the 19's thinking. I've got to make this up.
Allmendinger's there, but then you look, there's some drivers beyond Mayer looking for their first career win. Ryan Truex is a part of that mix.
Yeah, we're getting some different guys up
Riley
here,
Herbst
in the game. Landon Castle in 5th. A lot of guys up here looking for a first win. Should be pretty fun.
Ryan Sieg as well.
That you're going to laugh about. So Daniel stops. He's easing through here like really slow, and the 7 backs into him, hits him in the left front fender. Then he eases up a little bit further, and the 7 spins out and runs into his nose. I just asked him on the radio, you just like that movie Friday. How in the world do you get fired on your day off? How do you wreck up to the caution and come out? That's pretty good. Smokey, don't you ever come by here. I'll call you.
You know that movie? Well, no, they got Debo in there.
Yeah.
You know Debo? Well, I mean, Debo's
I don't know him personally. I don't have speed dial.
Saying,
But
do you know who Debo is?
Yeah, I know who Debo is.
Who's on the radio? Let's get Ty Gibbs.
That's all you, I called up last time.
What do I say? I don't want to inform him of what his teammates thinking. Hey, Ty Gibbs, this is Austin Dillon up in the booth, man. You've had a great race all night. You know, what are you thinking going to this last restart? We know it's been crazy, 16 cautions so far. What do you got to do to get a good launch here at the end?
Well, I don't know. Hopefully I don't get hooked in the right rear and not move out of the way. I would like, you know, our Monster Energy Toyota Zero Super's been fast, so we just got to get away from the enemies behind us and, you know, hammer down. You know, it's been fun though.
Yeah, I think that's a great plan. Get away from the guys behind you, and you've been doing it all night, man. Keep it up. We'll be watching and cheering for hoping that everybody gets to the white flag here.
You and me both.
Tonight's race scheduled at 250 laps. You take the delay at the beginning because of the rain shower. You take this red flag. You think tomorrow night's Cup race has gone from 500 laps to now 400. My prediction is we spend more time in this television booth tonight than Mike Joy, Clint Boyer, and Chad Knaus do tomorrow. You want to show up, see what happens as NASCAR's Top Shelf goes racing for the 8th time this year. Second road course event. Our coverage begins with race day, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, FS1, and the Fox Sports app. Jamie Little on pit road tonight. She'll be here tomorrow night as well, Jamie.
Yeah, we got some shims, slugs, ratchets, sockets. Let's see, we got a wrench. Oh, hey, Eric. Recognize this?
It looks, yeah.
You need any adjustments for tomorrow?
Yeah, you wanna roll over there? I think I could give you the list we got.
Okay,
if you wanna help out.
We got batteries. You know, I can just clean the car. We've got the cleaner over here, you know. Just so you know, though, your car is in great hands. She's sleeping, covered up. It's very quiet back here in the Cup garage, so she'll be good and ready tomorrow, but I'm sorry if there's any surprises inside, all right?
Well, thanks for the help.
You know, when I saw Jamie at the toolbox, and she was going through all the different drawers, and we've had the conversations with the Gibbs guys. I thought she was going to pull some boxing gloves out, actually, preparing for after the race.
That'll be too good. Eric's too nice. He wouldn't have boxing gloves
Absolutely
here.
not.
Now, Austin, on the other hand, he likes a little drama, right, Austin?
Drama, you know, it happens from time to time. My grandfather, you know, he's that way.
Austin, your car's next. I'm headed to your garage, which is right next door, by the way.
Yeah, the cars look cold out there, Jamie. Are you cold? I mean, it's nice and warm up here in the booth.
Let me just tell you, your car is warmer than I am and our crew right now. It has been cold. What's going on? You got a water bottle over here?
Now look, we put a camera on that box to make sure no one gets too close to that unit.
And this right here. So I'm sorry to your crew. They are going to see us in here. But let's see. You guys don't have the labels of what's in here.
Our box is unlocked too.
No labels.
Yeah,
you guys
no
just
labels.
know where everything is. That good?
A lot of 3 stuff. That's pretty cool. I don't know. What do you think, Austin? How was your car? You need any adjustments?
Well, me and Eric start, I think, side by side tomorrow. So we've been in the booth side by side. Hopefully, we both go to the front when the race drops. I think I've learned a lot tonight. Track position matters. So we'll be trying to figure out how to get that from the drop the green flag.
Row 12 tomorrow night.
Yes, row 12 tomorrow night, and well, the cars are in good hands. I see the NASCAR officials around knowing that nothing has been touched, no tampering has gone down, but we're having fun going through your toolboxes.
Red flag has been lifted.
Hallelujah.
Just under 20 minutes under the red flag, and now we start thinking about our second overtime
Jeb
restart.
can see now. They got his hood knocked down, pulling that bumper out. Look.
Is this a strongman competition?
What an effort.
Go, let him go. Go, 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 go. Second gear.
Looks like they got the track pretty well cleaned up, though. I was a little bit worried about that outside groove in 1 and 2, but I think they did a good job of brushing that.
There's a little streak right through the middle there, about where the right front tire of the low car is going to be. Well, I don't know.
Hey, to execute the plan, we know ties inside front row. If you're Brandon, you go beside him, you go behind him.
I think Brandon's going to go behind him.
Yeah. I mean, to execute his plan.
Oh, his plan, I think.
I'm thinking you go behind him for sure,
yeah,
right?
It's that move we talked about earlier. It's the
2-for-1.
Yeah, the 2-for-1 corner pocket combo. And you got to do it when it matters, though.
Josh Berry's top 10. He drove through all that mess. Can you believe that?
He's got something going on with his right front right now that does not look.
It's a pretty big tire rub.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to hold.
Well, it's got to hold for a lap and a half, right? Like, I know it wouldn't hold with our steel bodies that we used to run.
It'd be cut right now under yellow. 4's got a bumper cover drag in here, Bailey Curry.
Of course, they'll do the choose, which can change the lineup. But right now, 5 of the top 10 have never won in the Xfinity Series.
Dale Jr.'s in 13th. I feel like he's got a shot to get a top 10 right here.
Oh, yeah.
P13. There's going to be. Sometimes, though, man, it just stacks. Like gridlock.
Yeah, you definitely feel like late race restarts here, they seem to be like there's nowhere to go. You're just kind of slamming into the guy in front of you. You're getting hit from behind, and nothing's really happening.
Your head does a lot of that, what he just did. It goes back and forth right in the middle of the corner. You can't control it. There's a guy behind you hitting you.
You get hit so hard here from behind, it knocks your visor open.
Oh, yeah. I've had that before.
Yeah, that's how you know it's a good one.
Look at Parker Retzlaff. Last week he passes 26 cars plus some lap down guys when he paid his penalty.
That car actually looks pretty clean too. Look at it. There's not many cars that look like that tonight. My gosh, everything looks clean on that car.
It's got one mark on the left rear. Running 12. Probably going to pick up one here. Josh is going to pit, I'm sure.
Yep.
11th now. Yeah, he's in good shape. Doing another good job.
Whoa. Is the hood on top of the
water to it?
I think they're out of water as well.
No. All right, on pit road here, coming to you.
Pull it in the garage.
Did you hear what he asked for? He said hook the water. I think he called it.
The water?
That's, yeah. That's South Boston, isn't it?
I think so.
I don't know that we have any water in this thing, man.
Oh.
You know, he could see perfect, actually. Right, he looked right through the middle.
Landon Castle is 4th right now.
Especially with the one charging the way he's going to charge. You think he's going to ship the 54 when he gets the one? That would be nice. That'd be our best chance of winning.
Landon has one of the fastest laps of this race. He's actually been very fast, and just track position put him back all night because he stayed out to get those stage points.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here. I mean, from what it sounds like, he's envisioning the one getting behind the 54, and they're all three just going to go up the track for him, it sounds. So I don't know.
Everybody has these great plans right now. But man, you still got to get to the 54. He has been so strong all night.
Yeah, as fast as he's been, it's going to take something pretty major, I think, for somebody to make a move here.
Right. Saying it's one thing, making it happen is another. Who's the guy behind the 54 that's going to do it?
As much as we hear, these guys talking about what they're going to do to go up there and beat him, they still have to catch him.
Yeah.
And he's been too fast so far.
That's the thing. When we've talked so much about what everybody's going to do and how you would race the 54, he's been in a class of his own all night. And the reality is the guys that he's up there with now are at some kind of a deficit in compared to him, in addition to the fact that he's going to be in control of the restart.
Yeah.
I'm all for the entertainment, and I can't wait to see what happens. But my goodness, if you're a betting man, you got to still put your money on Ty Gibbs right now.
Yeah, the tire preparation is like what I'm trying to see right now. Is there someone doing anything more than the next guy that might give him an advantage when we launch in this restart zone to just get that bumper right up? Like you said, the 19 wants to get to the left rear of the 54. He's got to have his stuff to go together right here.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to like getting through that lap traffic, special teams, right? This is the same thing, prepping your tires and getting your stuff ready to go here, making sure everything's cleaned off, warmed up, ready to go, and we're coming to the choose, so we'll know a lot more.
Adam, we've talked about what we would choose. What are you choosing if you're the 19?
If I'm Brandon Jones, I go inside.
Okay.
And I'm on that bumper into turn 1.
You're shifting.
There you go.
Yep.
You're sending him.
I'm going. And I don't think you have to get crazy, but you got to at least let him know you're there.
You're making the hole.
Yep. I just think you lose so much control in that outside lane as fast as he is.
I'm surprised, honestly, to see. Well, no, I guess I'm not, because the 19 took the bottom, but the one back on the top, I was kind of expecting it to be reversed.
Maybe he can right the ship here too. I mean, he said that it popped out of gear when he spun his tires. He's got another opportunity to make it happen.
Second attempt at overtime. And remember, if the leader doesn't get back to the white flag and we get a caution, we'll reset and do it all again. Anxious times for Grandpa, Coach Gibbs, the owner. Green is out again at Martinsville.
19, right on him. He's going to put it in.
Brandon Jones is there. Contact. Ty Gibbs up the track. Brandon Jones side by side for the lead.
Underneath you. Get drive off. Clear level. Get in, cover it. Don't overdrive her in.
Gibbs able to clear him.
19's going to have a run off at
54 slipped up pretty big.
Yep.
He's
White
there.
flag.
19's there.
Half a mile to go. Here's Jones again.
54 is still slipping up.
Doing it clean right now.
Gibbs up the track. No contact this time.
Keep him out there.
He's going to have to run him up.
Use it.
Jones down low. Gibbs up high. Here
Brandon
comes Brandon Jones. First win of the year.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
And we talked about tire prep. The 19 was working his tires really hard before that.
Awesome job.
Absolutely.
Awesome job all day, guys.
He did a good job, and 100% tire preparation. I feel like the 54 just didn't have his stuff ready to go. I mean, slipped up and kind of both ends, opened the door, and Brandon took advantage and took the win.
5th career victory for Brandon Jones. Landon Castle finishes 2nd.
And Brandon's one of those guys you don't see coming sometimes. And he'll come out and really put on a show. He's a streaky guy. And, oh, man, the light show, that's awesome.
And, you know, what a moment for that 19 team, right? You know, you work with your teammates, but I'm sure those guys watch the 54 team go out and win these races and dominate, and they're thinking, man, you know, when's it our time? And today, it's their time.
On top of, he was on the old tire strategy, I believe. I think he's one of those guys that is on an older set of tires, and it paid off.
35 laps, that's right. Oh, we got some angry fellas here.
Ty Gibbs, Sam Mayer.
Helmets on.
Oh. Here we go. Coleman talked about the fact they've been racing each other for a long time. Oh, and there's a punch. Ty Gibbs going after Sam Mayer, and we've got a fight at Martinsville.
He ain't let him go.
Couple good shots. Connected. There is a winner of the race.
Brandon Jones, he did win the race. A great moment there. Grandfather, nothing cooler than the grandfather clock, right? I mean, you think about races you want to win in NASCAR. Martinsville's always on that list, right? It always comes to mind. Yeah, it's always cool to see someone take that clock on.
That's cool. He locks himself into the playoffs, the bonus points. You know, he hadn't had the best of year. You know, we haven't seen him up there a lot, and him to get that win, make it happen, that's huge for him.
He won 3 times 2 years ago. Winless last season. Brandon Jones gets it done at Martinsville. We'll talk to Brandon in a moment. First, Vince Welch.
With Ty Gibbs. And Ty, first, the frustration that you had on the restart, and then the conversation that you had with Sam.
Yeah, well, I tried to talk to him, and he got all in my face. So, you know, at that point, we got to start fighting. But, you know, we got put in a bad position there. The only thing I'm mad about is this. One didn't have anything. He had, you know, he wasn't going to get past the 6 team there, and I just got hit in the left rear. But it's just frustrating. I just got driven the fence at the end. But, you know, I was on the other side of it last week, so that's just part of it.
Jamie's with the winner.
And you hear the crowd, they got all excited about everything that's going on, but you are our winner. Take us through the last 2 laps with your teammate of all people. Looked like you had it, and then you didn't have it. Take us through it.
I mean, what a day. I can't say that we could have played it out any better. I love the call we made to get stage points. Drove the thing all the way from the back to the front. Had older tires than all of those guys there at the end. Lions, Menards, our GR Super was certainly as fast as Xfinity Internet is, and this is a driver's racetrack right here. I've won it a lot of different places now, and this is one that you have to get after at Tirana. A really hard race. can't believe he cleared me there really early in stage 3. He had a strong GR Super as well, but fun to beat him. He's hot right now. He's tough to beat, so that's a good one.
You guys did have a different strategy. How were you able to hang on with those tires being so much older than all of those that you're racing with?
Yeah, I mean, I think that one, they didn't fall off as much as may some people thought, and two, we just knew how to use our tools, and they're really good too. We've got a lot of different things to tune with. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that just like I said, you couldn't have played it out any better, and really happy the way it ended.
You got a place for that grandfather clock?
I do. I've got an awesome barn I just bought, so I know right where it's going. I got a perfect spot for it.
Congratulations. Brandon Jones wins it at Martinsville.
With A.J. Allmendinger, the Dash for Cash winner, $100,000. That's a nice little bonus. Before the race, you told me you weren't happy with the way the car handled. I got to believe you're a little bit happier now.
I'm happy with the money. That was a struggle, but all the men and women at College Racing to get this $100,000. First of all, thank you for Xfinity and Comcast for doing this. All the programs that they do along with this Dash for Cash. So really big deal. Get the men and women at College Racing some hard-earned money because they've been working really hard. But we did all we could with this Action Industries Chevy Camaro. It was definitely not where we wanted to be, but my crew chief Bruce, pit stops were phenomenal. So we were going to maximize it. I thought we were going to finish 3rd or 4th anyway, and then we got whatever the hell was going on there. So it's
how do you describe what was going on there?
I mean, I didn't see the actual wreck. What I saw in pit road is stupidity, but it is what it is. Awesome job by my teammate Landon Castle. I mean, to finish 2nd. I thought he might win it going in the last corner. So we got a lot of work to do, no doubt. But we're maximizing each race. Everything that we can do, and thank you Xfinity and Comcast. Extra $100,000, that helps.
Well done.
So here are the top 4 finishers, and these are the guys that will go for $100,000 in 2 weeks' time at Talladega. Brandon Jones, Landon Castle, who gets his career best finish tonight. Allmendinger, of course, and Austin Hill going for $100,000 at Talladega. He won at Daytona. You know he's really good at that style of racing. So now we go back and we look at the racing. Ty Gibbs, Sam Mayer.
Yeah, I mean, kind of took him out. I can see Ty's frustration there. Sam's running hard to try to get
$100,000.
Oh wow,
that was for $100,000 right there,
for sure.
And this is pit road after.
I think you told him to take his helmet off. What do you think?
And this all started. Ty got out of his car and went to Sam as soon as they parked on pit road. And here's what was said on the 54 radio before he got to the pit lane.
Yeah, be smart, but come on, man. Come on. Don't, dude. Don't. We don't need that, man.
Yeah, I mean, trying to calm him down.
Yeah,
he crossed the line though, right? I mean, you can't.
You can't be running. You can't be running people over after the race under. Anything
a lot
under
different
yellow.
Speed.
I mean, Ty's young. I mean, he's still young. Obviously, he's had a lot of success, but he's still a young guy, and he's learning, trying to figure it out.
I just go back to last week, and I feel like there were a lot of people industry-wide that defended Ty and the move he made and the position he put himself in to win the race in Richmond, even though he was racing a teammate. And tonight he's kind of on the other end of the deal a little bit. And there is contact. There's no doubt about that. Mayer gets into him. But Mayer, to his defense, is racing for $100,000 too. And if you're running for a championship, don't you have to pull back the emotions and not have that reaction at this stage of the year? I don't know. I'm just curious what your thought is on that.
It's tough, man. I get it. I can remember being in Ty's shoes in that spot. I can probably remember being in Sam's shoes in his spot. And I'm sure Austin's the same way. You've been on both sides of the fence on those situations. That's a pretty brash reaction for sure. I think Ty's shown he's pretty brash though, and he's going to learn from it. I'm sure after tonight, when he goes home, sleeps on it, there's going to be some regret there.
What's that conversation like in the NASCAR trailer right now?
Well, it's probably not a lot of fun, or probably not agreeing on much. But for me, he's showing his personality. It's good to see that personality part of it. You hate to see what all went down right there. For the fans' perspective, it was pretty entertaining.
Where is that line for you? I mean,
he just won a race the past week by moving a guy, right? Unfortunate, Sam moved him and didn't get the $100,000. AJ came home with $100,000. So, those two guys are young and they're trying to get it for all it's worth, and it's good to see them fighting hard.
Here's what I love. Their career paths are similar from an age standpoint, from a career start standpoint.
Coleman Presley told us there were history there. They've wrecked each other in the ARCA series. They've not always gotten along, so it just came to fruition tonight.
Two good young drivers and good equipment. We've not heard the last of this rivalry. Hey, it was a fun night. And let's wrap it by saying, Brandon Jones, way to go. What a victory.
Did a great job.
You guys, so much fun. Good luck to you tomorrow evening in the Cup race, 400 laps. Our coverage begins with race day right here on FS1, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're racing around 7:30. Next up for the Xfinity Series 2 weeks from now, we're in Talladega, Alabama. It's round 3 in the Dash for Cash. A wild night in Martinsville. And it all ends with Brandon Jones in double overtime, getting his first win of the year. We had a fight on pit road. We gave away $100,000. Thank you for watching. For all of us here at Fox, I'm Adam Alexander. Good night.
The ones at the top of the mountain, climb tighten the buckle. One with the right crowd that likes to rumble. Hold a nice crown, it's hard to be humble. We welcome you now to our arena. If you don't know by now, it's hard to beat us. You can tell by our demeanor how hard we leaning. Leave a lasting impression on who is the best, and it won't be a question. You will remember.